Coolio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to That's Football. I see you threw me there. He said, "Have you ever done it as a United stand?" I said, "I do it all the time," and I was going to do. I didn't think that was the right one to do. We're a little bit late. We've had a few technical problems, but we've got there in the end. It's first game of the season. We're not going to stress about it massively.
It's only Arsenal, Mark. Nothing to worry about,
mate. I'm very much Brentford tonight. I don't know about you. I mean, I've got no Arsenal players in my fantasy Premier League side, and I think that Arsenal will go through the team news very, very quickly. But first of all, welcome to the channel. No, it's not your first time on the channel, but welcome to the stream, Craig, and welcome to the start of a Premier League season. I'm very, very excited about this. In some ways, I'm happy we've done a bit of a Varane. You know, we said we were going to be live at 7:30, and we've just gone, 25 minutes late. 2.5 weeks late with United, 25 minutes with us. So technical difficulties. But unlike Varane, we actually have delivered. We actually are here. This is real. And welcome to the Members Club, Niall Gallagher. So yeah, I'm very excited, Craig, for this. I don't know about you.
I'm absolutely buzzing. I mean, we've been okay this summer. We've been spoiled with the Euros, bit of Olympics, drop a cup, America. But to finally realise that, one, the new season kicks off, and two, the start of some fun watch-alongs and some fun banter over the year. I'm looking forward to it. I really, really am. And hopefully we get off tonight with a good win for Brentford.
And I tell you what, as well, look at how many fans there are in that ground. That almost brings a tear to my eye. That really does. This is one of the things that I've sort of been keeping it down on a down low. I mean, look, I'm not a Brentford fan. I'm not an Arsenal fan. But I'm a football fan. And to see that many fans in a ground, close together. To some people, I get it. That we've lost a lot of people because of this horrible illness. And some people will say we shouldn't be doing that. But for me, whether we should or we shouldn't be doing it, that is something beautiful. And typically they go to two women on the screen, just as I said that. But I wasn't talking about that, as people know. I'm talking about fans in the ground, atmosphere. Love it. Absolutely love it. And an Arsenal fan says, "I'll be on top of the table tonight," says Trucker. Only time you will be. Make sure to take a photo of it. Get the champagne in the fridge. That's all I'm going to say about that. But seriously, I'll get the team news up, Craig. I need to get a timer up as well. What is your thoughts on the game, Arsenal season's Brentford season? 3 points there.
Yeah, to start off with the Arsenal team, obviously we'd all heard murmurings earlier on in the day that there could be a couple of people missing, so we were waiting to see how strong Arsenal could go with this one. I've got to be honest about it. Ben White I do rate as a centre-back to some degree, but I can't say anything other than I think this Arsenal team is a load of pants and will finish outside the European places. Brentford, great unknown, former Liverpool player there in Sergi Canos, Ivan Toney. Can he carry you through the first division, up into the Championship, now into the Premier League? And I've got a feeling, first game in the Premier League for Brentford, packed house. I don't think this is going to be an easy evening for Arsenal whatsoever. I'm thinking Arsenal will get out of here with possibly a point.
Look, Leno in goal for Arsenal, Chambers, White, Murray, Tierney. Lakonga, who is the new signing, Xhaka, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Balogun. That is not a particularly strong Arsenal side, but I do think they'll win, and I'll explain why in a minute. Brentford, Raya, Aja, Janssen, Pinnock, Canos, Onienka, Norgard, Janelt, Henry, Mbuma, and Tony, who I've got in my fantasy Premier League side. I mean, you look at the benches of both sides. Bellerin, Saka's on the bench for Arsenal, which is a bit of a surprise, actually. I would have thought he would have started. I actually think Arsenal will win because they haven't got Lacazette, because they haven't got Aubameyang. I think, actually, that team, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Balogun, White, they're not actually tainted, really, by Arsenal's last 5 or 6 years. So I think that maybe they'll just go out there and express themselves. I wasn't impressed with Brentford when I saw them against United, or albeit pre-season, you shouldn't take a lot of notice of. So I still think that we will see an Arsenal win. I'm going to go 3-1, Craig.
It's a lovely ground, just seeing the aerial view here of Brentford's new stadium. It is Craig, a very nice surrounding.
I've just got to go and sort something out. It'll be 1 minute.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts on the game ahead. I mean, can Ivan Toney continue his goal-scoring form, as I said, through League One when he was at Peterborough at one point, right up then the Championship with Brentford, smashing the all-time Championship goal-scoring record. But as Mark said earlier on, I'm just buzzing that we have the atmosphere, a full house, and that Brentford get to start their Premier League campaign at home against Arsenal in front of a raucous crowd. And look at them. The manager's already out there giving it to them, trying to get them ready. I am buzzing, ladies and gentlemen, even though it's only Arsenal, but I am buzzing for a brand new Premier League campaign, and I'm very thankful, grateful to be here with you good folks. And as I've always said, thank you for the kind welcome. You'll grow to love this bald, overweight Irish twat eventually. But yeah, look, it's looking magnificent there. As I said, congrats to Brentford on the new stadium. I know they had it last season, but this year they really get to introduce it to Premier League football. And keep a little eye on Sergi Canos, tricky player, was at Liverpool at one point. You know, he's one of them. He's going to be the next, but never quite worked out to be, but still a very good player. And as Mark said, maybe Arsenal won't be tainted by the scourge of having some of those players that underperformed for many years, and maybe the manager going with youth could be a good thing. I'm genuinely intrigued, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Moments to go now till we get underway in the new 2021-22 Premier League campaign. See, this is where I get confused, ladies and gentlemen. I see an Umbro kit and I just think nasty 80s again. I've never been a fan of Umbro kits. I've never been a fan of it, even though I know United fans watching, you guys will have had some good ones over the years. Ireland had a few decent ones, but it's just bangs of average to me when I see an Umbro kit. I never take it seriously. So it's the only downside I'm giving Brentford here is that kit. I do think we're in for a good evening's football, though. I mean, how nice is a Friday night, weekend about to get going, and Premier League football to kick off again? It is a thing of beauty, and with a full crowd as well. You'll love to see it. Be interesting to see if it is the bench that perhaps does make the difference for Arsenal there, obviously. But look, Kieran Tierney, I know Mark said he's got no players in his FPL team from Arsenal, but I think maybe I have Tierney in mind, I'm not sure, and possibly Saka, but Smith Rowe, certainly somebody who we know that they have high hopes for at Arsenal. And Balogun, let's wait and see what happens. And I've always liked Martinelli, to be fair. I've always thought he was a decent player. And there's been some big shouts on perhaps Pepe scoring 10 to 15 goals this season. And I think this could be the year where we actually see Nicolas Pepe step up a little bit and show why Arsenal... look, who am I kidding? Arsenal are going to finish ninth, and that's just the way it's going to be. I mean, I can try and big them up. I can try and do it. I can try and put my impartial hat on, but every single fibre of my body believes Arsenal won't get a European spot this season, and I can't hide it. I can't be fake.
I'm here.
He's back.
I've got a mouthful of nuts.
Oh, hello, sailor. Makes a change from you watching videos about lads banging their cars.
Good video that was.
I just
do what my viewers asked me to do. I mean, I don't enjoy watching them sort of videos, but they said, "Can you do it?" And I did it.
That's right. I'd say your internet search history would be some fun now if the cops kick the door through. I'm one of you lot. It doesn't matter, Mark. We've seen what you've been watching.
On YouTube, you're fine. As long as it's YouTube, anything, use something else, you might be in trouble. Anyway, we're about to kick off here. What an atmosphere. I love a party with a lovely atmosphere. Nice kit, Arsenal's.
I was just going to say, what are you making of that kit? It's not too shabby, is it?
No, away kits are always better than the home kits, aren't they? I'm surprised he's not starting, though. I must admit, I'm surprised Saka's not starting.
Here we go. Moments from the Premier League
just
getting
kicked
underway.
off.
Boom!
I want you in my
Here we
room.
go.
Right. Let me... thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way.
Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, bottom right-hand corner. Drop a like on the L video.
Let me get rid of these nuts, because people hate it when I eat.
Eating with Goldbridge, is that what's going to be next? We follow on the cooking with the actual eating of it and the dessert?
I must admit, I'm glad it's died out, right? I've always done watch-alongs without food, because I know it's irritating. I don't like watching people chewing when they're eating, and I apologise for doing it myself. But there was this thing in the early days of rival watch-alongs, and a lot of them don't exist anymore, quite rightly, where they'd order in food whilst they're actually watching the game and sit eating pizza. And I'd be like, you've completely not read the room well. It very rarely works watching somebody stuff their face with food. You know?
Especially if you're watching me, mate, because I don't eat food. I inhale food. So it would be a short viewing for me on that one. Pepe, left-hand side here. I mean, what are your thoughts for him? Do you think he's finally settled and starting to show what he might be able to actually do at Arsenal for that big price tag?
It's season 3, isn't it?
I can't remember when they signed him, to be honest.
I think it is season 3 for Pepe. So I think that, he's got to do well. Cool Collectible says, would love to see you guys do a watch-along together for United versus Liverpool. Once on here, United stand, and once on Anfield Round. Be like watching Nevin Carey going back and forth, says Cool Collectible. I think we both would love to do it. If anyone's got any ideas about how we do it, I think we would love to do it. I think we could dual stream it, to be honest. One on Anfield Agenda and one on United Stand. I think it would be good to do. It's just, I wouldn't rule it out. It's just how you do it. We'd have to physically be in the same room as well. And Halvard says, debuts in the Premier League after 5 years in Celtic, but only 23 years. Strong in the air and to the lead and to the ball. Norway's best central defender. Brentford will be my number 2 this year. So watch out for Asia, who's the centre-back for Brentford. Getting a lot of love there from Halvard. Apparently a very good player. And what a beautiful way to start the season, says Dowell. Hardcore fans of Liverpool and United watching together and bantering Arsenal.
Yeah, it's the perfect way, isn't it? I was reading some of the comments before as well. I mean, an Arsenal loss here today, Mark, and I don't know about you, but the weekend's off to an absolute flyer.
I know. Well, to be honest with you, I don't really feel like this is the start of the Premier League. This is like the B-Tech version. It really starts tomorrow, but this is the warm-up act.
It's the Europa Conference League of Charity Shields.
Yeah, but look, I am enjoying it, but Arsenal, Brentford, it's not. I still think Arsenal will win. By the way,
I have a friend who's a massive Celtic fan, and he has been speaking about ER for a while, or a jar, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and saying that he is a talent.
It's a foul there on Smith Rowe.
I think we're all intrigued now to see what happens with the offside decisions, because I know they've got the old Sharpies, but inside the stadium, I know inside the stadium they're not showing the replays, but are we going to get to see them as TV fans?
Well, I don't know, because to be fair, what worked well in the Euros was the fact that we didn't see it, and at first I thought I would hate that, but actually it did create the conversation in your head if you're on your own, or with people if you're not, because you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Boltham's ready for bruncho, says Shake. I don't know what that's all about. Hi Mark, do you think that Arsenal will actually challenge for Europe this season? Well, I'll throw that to Craig, because I've already said that I think Arsenal will come 6th and win the FA Cup. So whether they'll challenge for the conference, whatever it's called.
My Premier League predictions video came out today as well. I'm fairly sure I had them in 9th, if not 8th. But no higher than 8th anyway. I think they'll finish behind Villa this season. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see actually how it works out, because I think look, I'm just very excited for the season. I mean, I'm also a bit of trepidation. I've got to be honest. I'm not 100% confident about. I'll be following Solihull Moors as my non-league team this year, because I'm sponsoring the women's football team shirts, which I'll be revealing next week, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on Solihull Moors, the men's team, are in the National League. They're meant to be kicking off next weekend. It's already been cancelled because of a COVID outbreak in the opposition's team. You look at the amount. I mean, look behind. Look in the background there. Look at the people sat together there, behind, in front. We have got COVID still quite prevalent in this country. I agree with the decision. You've got to get on with your lives. My concern is, let's get on with our lives, and it gets to a certain infection rate and they go, no, let's not get on with our lives. Like, if we're going to do this, we've made the decision, you've got to do this every week now. But the problem is, because there's so much of it, it only takes a couple of cases in a football team and you start to get that disruption again with games cancelled.
Yeah, it is. It's really unfortunate. I've got a couple of trips to the UK booked for next month, and both for indoor, outdoor / football style venues, and potentially heading to the Chelsea game as well. And I'd be lying, even though I'm double jabbed, to say I'm not a little bit nervous about it all. I mean, I won't be telling you lies if I'm not to say that it's not at the back of my mind. I know you've been double jabbed now as well, but it's still prevalent in society. But I suppose you've got to get to a point where normality returns. And what more can we do than a vaccine and the steps that are being put in place?
Yeah, bit of a slow start to this game. Both teams just feeling each other out at the moment. It's like a Friday night at the disco. You like her, she likes you. You're not had enough drink yet to go and have a chat with them. But something might happen a little bit later on, and I think that's how this game has started off a little bit at the moment. They're just flirting.
What was the phrase when you were growing up? Because, in Ireland it was you send your mate over and say, will you meet him or will you shift him if you were from down the country? What was the phrase for you lot?
I didn't send my mates in. I didn't need a wingman. I was maverick.
Even back then you were an arrogant son of a bitch.
I didn't have any mates.
Honestly, I love it. Well played.
No, I mean, none of my mates... Well, I had mates. None of us used to do that. So everyone was too bloody competitive. You'd send them over to chat to a girl. The next thing, they'd be bloody tonguing their tonsils out. You'd be like, oh, cheers for that. So
That's the thing, though.
Grafted on
That's the thing. Will you meet me, mate? No, what about me? That's what it works with.
Yeah, I agree. Won't it apply to football teams after the 16th that if you're close contact, you don't have to isolate, says Joshua Bellwater. Happy opening day. Here's to Liverpool kicking butt and taking names, says Liz Golden. There's a reason we was chosen to open the Premier League, says Trucker. Yeah, someone's got to do it. It's like being the first one down the tunnel, isn't it? There might be a bloody tiger down there. Off you go, Arsenal. Sacrificial lamb.
Front row of the artillery being sent in first, the foot soldiers.
It's like what Well, you probably can't say it now, but if there was a general consensus that someone wasn't the best, most attractive person, you used to get that statement, didn't you? That's what you get for pushing in the when God's handing out good looks. It's not always best to be first. Ronnie says, "Why are you always bantering Arsenal? Have you not seen they are leading the Premier League?" Says Ronnie. I actually do like some Arsenal fans, but I think that certain Arsenal fans, especially in our industry, they bring it on themselves. They're very, very arrogant.
Everyday Joe Soper Arsenal fans, I've got a lot of time for. Most of them are sound, and what I don't get is when Liverpool were.
Oh, keeper's got it.
Good keeping.
Yeah, good cross.
When Liverpool were middling, when we were finished, 6th, 7th, 8th for those years, and we were winning a domestic cup or two, I got to a pace where I finally accepted where we were. I don't feel that some Arsenal fans have accepted that yet.
No, I agree. But some of them have. And, I did it. I'm sure you did it as a Liverpool fan. Brentford just passing it out from the back here. They got to a point with me where I think actually people started to like me more who weren't United fans because I got realistic. I'd watch a Chelsea game and say he's a good player. I'd watch a Liverpool game and say, you know what, Salah is one of the best players in the world. Which you don't do when your team's doing well. Because when your team's doing well, you're quite arrogant. I get that. But it got to a point with me with United where I had to get real. We weren't good enough. I still think some Arsenal fans haven't got real. They still will go, Saka's better than Salah. Martinelli's better than Greenwood. And you're like, mate, and that's what's irritating. It's like the old thing. If you did a Twitter poll, Arsenal would always win.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me, I never understood these, Sanchez is better than this player or X. To me, it's like if he's in your team, be happy you've got him, enjoy him, and hope that he benefits your side. And I think we all watch football because we love the sport. So if you can't acknowledge the great players, whether they be from your rivals or not, I don't see what the point is.
Yeah, I agree. So 10 minutes gone here. I mean, I think Arsenal have started off quite well. If you're an Arsenal fan, I think you have started off quite well. I'm intrigued by Brentford. I mean, I didn't watch the Championship last year. I did watch a bit of Championship the year before, where they lost in the playoffs. I didn't watch hardly any of the Championship. Well, I didn't really watch it. I think I watched the playoff final. But Brentford, a team that's meant to be quite expansive. So hopefully they can be.
Very brave on the ball. Yeah, they will take chances. Do you know what they remind me of? They remind me of when who is it that we always batter that comes up that refuses to change the way that they played? Was it Brighton? There was a team recently that came up over the last 4 or 5 years and just refused to change the way they played every time we went to play them. I knew we were going to beat them by a few goals.
Norwich came up and did that, didn't they? They played the way this open football and they got battered. And I think that might be the way for Brentford, who've just headed one onto the bar there. I do want Tony to score. I've got him in my fantasy Premier League side. I can tell you my fantasy Premier League side now. Have you got one, Greg?
I do, yeah. I actually just joined Togdale's league there. I think I seen you in the list to be added after the next round of points as well.
No, I should be in it already.
I was fairly sure if I just seen you were waiting. Ben Foster was in there as well. Oh, chance. Oh, did that clip the post?
Well, Thogdad's done me up like a kipper then, because I joined that yesterday. maybe it's because I joined yesterday. I'll still be in it, but yeah, I'm quite happy with my team. I've my who's your captain for the week, everybody? If you have done Fantasy Premier League, we can't give you out Thogdads because I don't agree with it, but it's elitist. That's a good save by the keeper there, Leno. That was a good shot. Sorry, we're chatting about Fantasy Premier League. I thought he did it.
I thought it clipped a post.
Well, I thought he got a hand on it. Anyway, nothing's happened. But yeah, I've gone with Mo Salah as my captain, as has many people in the chat. Again, I've just thought Norwich are shit, and they'll get 3 or 4 goals. Liverpool. I nearly went Vardy. I haven't got Lukaku yet, but I will bring him in. But he's not playing, is he? So I've got Vardy this week as my main striker, with Tony, and I think I've played Bamford. You know, I fancy. The thing is, I can't. When you're playing Fantasy Premier League, you can't be too arrogant about your own team. Because if I was going, United are going to win 4-0 tomorrow if I go, because I've got Wan-Bissaka, I've got Sancho, but I actually don't know whether we'll get a clean sheet.
Yeah, I've took Bamford up front tomorrow against you guys as well. I do have Salah as my captain, so similar to you in that sense. You do fancy. He didn't score in pre-season, so I feel he's going to take it out in Norwich.
Yeah, I just think if you're going to play Fantasy Premier League, I used to be brilliant at it. I finished in the top 300 about 8 years ago. One of the tips I always had was that you cannot have club loyalty. Get the players from your own club that are going to get points, but don't start picking Michael Carrick or Fabinho or someone like that because they don't get many points. You've got to go, yeah, and don't be a knobhead and go, oh, I'm not having Salah because he plays for Liverpool. Like, you're doing yourself out of points.
I've got 2 United players in my Fantasy Premier League squad.
Who have you got?
I've went for Shaw and Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, I've got Wan-Bissaka. I went with either or. I mean, it's a good idea to go with both, actually. Fancy team names as HT Football. Well, you can get yours in the chat. My fancy team name is basically what you all are. Here we go. Arsenal in. Balogun. Good back heel, goes for a corner. The Goldbridge Ultras, that's what you're called on this channel. You know, we've got TUS Army on United Stand. We've got the Goldbridge Ultra. Oh, we'll have to have 2 names on here now for when Craig's on. But the Goldbridge Ultras are what the chat are called. So that's what I'm called on Fancy Team. What's your name, Craig?
I didn't go with our little symbol, which is WFM. I've gone for Heronomics FC. I used to be, when I was cheekier, when I was a bit less known, there was things like Inter Your Mat and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But
I used to be in one at work and everyone was dead clever about it and I just used to use my name. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm just going to win. I don't care about your stupid name. Barcelona, there used to be something about Barcelona everyone used to be called as well.
There's one good one. My friend's name is James Byrne and his team's called Byrne Munich.
There we go. Finding Timo, that's a good one. Freddie Ford, yeah. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I do love a good pun.
Fool's Goldbridge, that'd be a good one. Red Fred Redemption, yeah. Who ate all the pies? Yeah, it was this sort of thing. Fair play. You've all played it.
Lalanas in pyjamas. There was that one as well.
Well, Arsenal are dominating the ball here. To your earlier point, aren't we meant to be supporters, not detractors? I just love watching football. My fantasy is Phil Jones, pink boots, says Rich Peck. Do either of you not have Bruno in your team? I didn't. You know what? That's quite telling because I haven't put Bruno in because it's almost like I don't want to put pressure on Bruno. I like him that much. I'm like, I'm not going to put pressure on him. I'm sure it's really going to care. Oh, Goldbridge hasn't put me in this fantasy team. The pressure's off. But I've gone Sancho. And I've left Bruno out of it for now.
I've actually gone Sancho in my predictions for Young Player of the Season.
Yeah, he's mine, yeah. So, yeah, I don't like to overload. For me, it was like I wouldn't have Sancho and Bruno because then I think you've got to win 4-0 every week because they can't both get goals and assists. I hope they do. So I've gone for Sancho early doors. Leave my Barcelona, that was the one, Senan.
Brilliant.
Cross by Tierney, comes to the back post, bit of a volley, headed away.
My midfield for this weekend is Grealish, Salah, Mount and Jota, and I'm unsure of 2 of those even starting.
I don't know what my team is. I know the goalkeeper's Martinez of Villa. Definitely got Wan-Bissaka. Midfield, I know I've got Sancho and Salah. I think I've got Townsend at Everton as well, you know. I'll tell you what, I'll get it up. It's only a bloody... Just got to type it in, haven't I? Fancy Premier League. Could do with Tony getting a... He's not had a bloody... He's hardly getting the ball.
Cross.
Oh, that's a handball by Pepe. Yeah. So I've got Martinez in goal. I've got Wan-Bissaka, Targay, of course, and Kufel of West Ham. So I'm not too unhappy with that. They're all at home, apart from... No, hold on a minute. Oh, yeah. They're all playing, yeah. I wonder where my points were then. Yeah, got Kufel, Targay, Wan-Bissaka. I've gone with a back three. Goldbridge, you see. Martinez in goal. Sancho, Townsend, Salah and Harvey Barnes. Vardy, Tony and Bamford. So I'm very reliant on Leicester beating Wolves tomorrow. So Craig's going to be doing that tomorrow, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, because I'll be doing United Leeds at 12:30. So by the time I've finished with all that, it'll be gone 3:30. So Craig will be live at 3 o'clock on this channel with a Chelsea versus Crystal Palace watch-along. You say, how can you do that? It's not legal. Well, it is, because in Ireland, you've got a channel that's got Chelsea versus Palace on, you lucky prat, haven't you?
We do, yeah. Premier Sports have it on. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. I sent you a screenshot kind of gloating about it the other day.
So we've got a Chelsea versus Palace watch-along on this channel tomorrow, but Craig will also be updating you on Everton, Southampton, Leicester, Wolves and Watford, Villa. So not only have we got Chelsea Palace with Craig tomorrow afternoon, which you can tune in for, make sure you subscribe, but also from a fancy Premier League point of view, he can keep you up to date with what's going on with that, and you can keep us up to date. So looking forward to that tomorrow. I'll definitely be tuning in once I've done my match reaction. Once I've given Bruno and Sancho a 10 out of 10 after a 4-0 win against shitty Leeds. And then I'll wake up.
Shots fired. I'll tell you what, I'm looking for tomorrow is like, I'm going to be like a pig and poo, Mark. I've got, the game at 3 o'clock to do, obviously, then straight into the build-up for Liverpool against Norwich. Post-match show for that, and then Connor's coming up to my house to help me out with the stream and stuff, but then we're going to kick back and watch the boxing. So yeah, nice entertainment, nice day ahead tomorrow.
Yeah, I was talking to Ricky and Adam on our show last night. They're both going to the game tomorrow, and we were just talking about how great it is to have football back. And I'm loving this. I'm loving watching the match, and I'll never stop taking my hat off, if I had a hat, to the fact that they had the Premier League last year. But looking at those fans in the ground, I mean, I loved it at Christmas when they just had 5,000 in it. But look at this, a packed out stadia. I can't wait for the autumn. I mean, for me, my favourite time of the year is autumn. That run up to Christmas, football, dark nights, Saturday afternoon, hits 4 o'clock, starts to get a bit dark, get the tea on, love it. So very excited about the season ahead. And I just hope it's an interesting season for everybody. I hope Arsenal can get in the fight for 6th. I hope that United and Liverpool and Chelsea and City do push each other, and we have a really, really good, exciting season, because I think we deserve it after the last sort of 18 months.
Yeah, I think the world deserves it. You're right, and everybody's looking forward to it. And I tell you what, I'm a fan of the addition of Friday night and Saturday night games. I love it. I love the idea of it.
I don't know how regular the Friday night thing is going to be, actually. I know there's no Monday night football. I always quite liked Monday night football. We've got no Monday night football this week, but I think we have got. Let me just double check. I think next Friday. Sorry. No, there isn't a game next Friday. So we've got bloody Burnley at 12:30 next week, Mark. Well, I'll up the Burnley. You owe them one, don't you? There's a corner for Brentford here, by the way. Yeah, you owe them. They're the one of the team. You got battered by the Bees, didn't you? Brentford,
I lost count.
Brentford, Brighton, and I think somebody else with a B beat you as well. Can't think who it would be. Burnley, Brighton, Everton beat you. Yeah, Monday night football starts from the week after next. It's West Ham against Leicester. But corner comes in for Brentford. Oh, Tony was there. He didn't get it. And they've gone back to the keeper. But it's an interesting start for Arsenal, because they've got this game, which actually they've got Chelsea next. So they don't. Then they've got Man City. I mean, for real, Goal! Oh, high foot, ref.
Was that a high foot? Was that a high foot?
Ref.
That seemed like a high foot.
He should have laid down on the floor.
Goal!
Get in! Brentford! Justice, jam on toast! Tell me his name! What's your
Sergi
name?
Canos. I think it's Sergi Canos.
What a hit! Well, we thought it might be a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's a goal. And I tell you what, it's that twat Leno again. He should not be beat from here. Long ball into the box. I thought that was a high foot anyway. I really did think this is a high foot. They get away with it. It comes to the edge. They don't clear the lines. They're not closing him down. Keeper's terrible position there, I tell you. But we love it. We love it. Crap defending. Oh, he shouldn't be getting beat on his front post.
That's awful. That is awful. It was indeed. When you were off your little break, Mark, I was just saying that Sergi Canos came through at Liverpool. Highly talented player. Didn't make it at us, but he's doing bits for Brentford.
The German Jordan Pickford has let it in on the front post. And Brentford are 1-0 up. Canos. Oh, lovely, lovely Arsenal. We do appreciate you. I don't know what Arsenal it's given. I was wondering there. You've always got to be careful of VAR.
The only thing I wondered about was when the Arsenal player cleared the ball, had it gone over the line. That was the only thing I could think of when I was looking at the replay. But yeah, no need to sit here and debate about the penalty mark because Brentford have only gone and done it. First goal of the campaign.
And I'm jinxing him a little bit because I was just about to say this is a very important game for Brentford because you know what next Arsenal's 2 games are? Chelsea and Man City. Imagine if they drop points here. They'll be bloody top of the league to bottom of the league. Gone in 60 seconds. Bloody hell.
Where's that top of the league shout now? If I was to look at the Premier League table, where would they be right now? It won't be top.
They could, if they don't win this game, if they don't get a win here, they could have no points at the end in the international break because I can't see them. I think Chelsea and City will destroy them.
I told you guys not to be sleeping on Brentford. They are hyped for this. They have been waiting.
I said 3-1 to Arsenal, but you know what? There's the one. You need 3. Bloody hell. Leno's shit, though. Leno's shit. Right, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story now. Obviously, I know some of the lads from the big Arsenal channel. You know why they never fucking give Leno any stick? He's in their fucking DMs, isn't he? They know some of the players. Some Arsenal players are quite switched on. They make friends with them, so they don't give them any shit. Tell me how many of their fan cams and their gobby ones ever slag Leno off. They never do. Bellerin, open season. Xhaka, open season. Not Aubameyang, not Leno, because they're in the fucking DMs, aren't they? They never have a go at Leno. And I don't watch every Arsenal game. I don't know whether we've got any Arsenal fans in here. But I think he's dodgy. He's the bloody German Jordan Pickford. He can do good things, but goalkeeping's consistency. That's what makes a good goalkeeper. He's dodgy, Leno. Your best goalkeeper was Martinez. And the sad thing is, he proved it when Leno got injured. And then you fucking sold him to Villa, and he was the best goalkeeper in the league.
They're showing the replay. That's what I was talking about. That clearance, I wondered where the ball was.
Oh, if it had gone out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the whole ball though, is it?
I don't care, Mark. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't give it a shot.
It's a goal. Oh, I can't believe it. The whole ball wasn't over the line. They should have had a corner.
The fall outrage. The shouting, the jumping up and down.
Mate,
I can almost smell it.
I don't know about you, but if I'm a United fan and you're a Liverpool fan, and tomorrow against Leeds we concede a goal and we're moaning because when Lindelof cleared it we think it was a corner. I mean, get a life. You're reaching there. I mean, it shouldn't have been a goal because it should have been a corner because the ball had gone out. Come on.
What about a penalty? It could have been a penalty. Doesn't matter. It doesn't suit my agenda. It doesn't matter.
It was never a penalty. That would have been a soft penalty. But if Brentford don't score, it was a nailed-on penalty. I mean, look, there it is again. I think he is a bit high.
Fucking gobshite should have just let it go out.
Who was it? Who's the prat who kicked it away? It was the same twat who tried to defend it, wasn't it?
Oh. It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Was the twat...
They full on Arsenal themselves in the first game of the season.
You know the twat who could have let it go for I think it was a goal kick as well, wasn't it? Was it going to go for a goal kick or a corner?
I think it was going for a goal kick, and then he chested it, let it come down off his thigh, and then cleared it.
Was he the same Pratt who ran on and got skinned as well? Or was that... I don't know. It was Chambers. It was Chambers, yeah. This is Chambers who thought he had a chance of going to the Euros.
Oh, look at
them all. All the Arsenal fans like this. I fucking told you. Yesterday, you were fucking... You told me to put 100 quid on for top 4. You fucking Pratt. I look alright, Pratt. 100 quid on top 4. You said top 4. You more chance of top bottom 4. Arteta out. Get me phone. Where's me got no fucking reception? Arteta out. Get the fucking
Mike
phone.
Dean there, fourth official, shrugging his shoulders. I don't give a shit, lads. I'm chewing my chewing gum here. Couldn't care less.
Arteta out. Oh, I love it. Come on, Brentford.
Angry Lego man at half time.
Yeah. Arteta out. Get him out. Give him time.
I'm telling you, we should have got Pep. We should have brought Pep in.
He's a fucking Poundland Pep with hair. Arteta out. Get him out. Oh, you're going to have no point. You tell you what, Arsenal, you better fucking do something in the second half because you've got 0 points in September. You ain't getting anything out of Chelsea and Arsenal. I didn't realise they had Chelsea and Arsenal.
I think there's a round of applause here for somebody from the Brentford family who passed away. So sincere condolences, obviously, to that.
Yeah. It's always nice to know what's going on. Remembering Roberts. Remembering Roberts, yeah. Yeah, hey, look, you know, at the end of the day, this is the great thing about football. This is what it should be. You know, none of this bloody Euros crap, we're all English, let's get behind England. Bollocks. That bubble's burst. Let's get behind club loyalties and laugh at Arsenal. Oh. How much did they spend on Ben White? I know it's not his fault, but, you know, they just keep... They're like...
And the funny thing is, Mark, they're looking to sign Ramsdale, who is all shades of shit again.
They're like... Arsenal are like a bloody hedgehog's lilo. You know, it's got so many holes in it, and they go out and buy the best plaster you can for one of the holes, and there's loads of... Nothing wrong with Ben White, but he can't fill all the holes.
Arsenal are about as useful as an ashtray and a motorbike.
Yeah, they need a right back. Bring back Bellerin. I've never been impressed by that Chambers, though. I've never been impressed with him. But Arsenal fans do really like him. But I think he's a bit dodgy. Here, 2v2 here.
Here we go.
2v2. Oh, he's got it caught under his feet.
Ball, mate.
What's he doing? Oh, he's in! Oh, you prat! Oh, you prat! Who's that? Mwamba. I can't pronounce his name. Oh, he was close. He's got... I mean, who's the defence here?
Ben White.
I tell you what, he's 50 million and he's sent him back to Brighton there. Get on the beach with a piece of rock and feed the seagulls, Ben. Bloody hell. He's absolutely mullered him there. They're so lucky not to be 2-0 down. Bloody hell. They're a shambles at the back.
50. Now, again, I do think Ben White will come good eventually, but to have conceded and then to have done that so simply. Oh, here we go.
You wanted a penalty.
Referees having none of it.
No.
Fair play to Arsenal. They weren't really over appealing there, in fairness. But great start. Great first half hour of the game here.
My tweet's going to absolutely cause a few problems.
Yeah, you're good at causing yourself a few issues, Mr. Goldbridge.
Yeah. At Mark Goldbridge, if you like it. Basically, I just said this Arsenal defence is pure comedy. It should be on Dave.
Oh, yeah, definitely feel like we've seen it before.
Yeah, they're so funny. You two are close together. I can't stop laughing, says Vicious. Close together? We're not that close. He's in a box. Can't touch
Closer
me.
than close. Closer than...
Super chats are working. I know people have got problems with them, but they are working. Only football player Arsenal will be given a 10 tonight will be Toby on Love Island in the player rating, says Christian. I tell you what, since that goal, Brentford weren't really in it, to be fair. Arsenal have now turned into bloody jelly babies, and Brentford have become Viagra FC. They're up for it now. It's almost like Brentford were like, let's just see what Arsenal are all about. I could have told them that. They could have gone for it from the start. I need a goal for Tony now.
They're playing good stuff, though. You got to say, Brentford, they're knocking it around here with confidence.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Brentford would be over the moon with a point here. I do. Top of the league at the moment, but I think they'd be very happy with a point here. They've got Palace next week, and then they've got Villa. So, I mean, look, you never know when your points are coming, though. You know, you never know when your next points are coming in this game. But it's a good start. What was his name? Canos with the goal.
Sergio Canos, yeah.
And Boomer, if that's how you pronounce it. We'll get used to these lads. They're all new. You know, it's not their fault.
It's not their fault. Mark doesn't know them. It's not their fault.
It's my fault. I can't be asked for that championship. Sorry. Here we go. Good run by Martinelli. Apparently he's better than Greenwood. Never seen any evidence of this yet. But Pepe, terrible.
Normal service has been resumed. I remember a video doing the rounds from a certain fan channel with an interview saying that Rob Holding was going to be better than Van Dijk or Gomez. I remember distinctly the video. I just can't remember which one of our centre backs at Liverpool they were talking about. They are a special breed at times.
Well, where's Thomas Partey? Is he injured again? I mean, I actually like Thomas Partey, but he's never fit. I mean, Dazzo says, comment at the end of the season, Arsenal all or nothing on Prime. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, can't wait for that. And Michael Fetty says, I'm loving it. Good thing for Arsenal. Nobody's watching anyway. Can't even name half the Arsenal squad, says Michael Fetty. Arsenal going to want Ted Lasso soon, says Jack Edwards. The funny thing about Arsenal is, right, if they did lose this game, they would actually be consoling themselves with, let's get Conte, let's get Zidane. Because they still think, Mbappe's available. You know, they actually think that they can still do that sort of deal. You know,
and they fit him in with James Maddison as well. Mbappe.
They're gonna get. Oh, lovely run by Pepe. They're in for Odegaard again, aren't they? And I don't know what your thoughts are on Odegaard, but I'm like,
I like Odegaard. I think he's too good for them.
I think it's a bit like Ceballos. I thought he was a good player, but maybe it's the club. You know, the problem is I always, in fairness, look, I don't mind Arteta. I don't think he's a terrible coach. I think the job at Arsenal's a bloody nightmare. I really do.
It's the poison chalice.
Yeah, I mean, you give that job to Klopp. I mean, he's going to do a better job than Arteta because he's a better coach, but he's probably still not going to get top 4 with that team. You can't keep bringing your managers. Wenger used to work miracles and they forced him out. Like, that squad is a problem.
The only thing I think we'll both agree on here, and you talked about at the start, is that they do have a decent crop of youngsters at Arsenal that are, you know, starting to find their way through, and that may take time. The likes of Smith Rowe and that. But you know, you need to have the coach.
The patience, though, Craig. This is the thing I said last year. There's Arsenal fans out there who make a career off moaning after one result, and they've got big gobs. And I think it's like it's very hard. I keep telling Arsenal, you know, even if Arteta's Solskjaer, you still got to wait 2 or 3 years. There has to be a build, but Arsenal fans won't take a build. You know, if he loses this game, that's Arteta out. Like, there'll be one game.
I'm sitting here as a Liverpool fan, right? With, you know, expecting my team to do okay this year, but I'm sitting here knowing that we've spent 36 million quid in this window. Arsenal have way outspent us for what?
I don't know who. Well, I do know who Arsenal bought. They bought Ben White. They've got this Lukongo in the midfield, haven't they? Who I don't know anything about. You know, I don't. So my eyes are open to that. I think they bought Tavares as well.
Yeah, the guy from Benfica.
Yeah. He's
Oh!
bloody hell. Ben White again was that? No, I don't think it was. Oh, what they're doing? They're being too clever here, Brentford. Being too clever. They could have been in again.
Great news for my side of things today. He's seen Van Dijk on a new deal.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that at half time, Klopp's comments. But I'm crying with laughter at Arsenal and you guys, as vicious bin man. And did you see Ty versus Roy Keane, says Oliver Smith? Mate, I don't think that necessarily does fan channels any good, really. Embarrassing yourself and getting into arguments with people, but, you know, whatever. It's not a Lacongo. Who am I thinking of? Lacongo. It's not Lacongo.
I'm sure they spent 17 million on a midfielder.
It is Laconga, that's it. Sambi Laconga. Is he a youth player? I don't bloody know. Let's have a look. I don't know what Arsenal have done this summer.
I think I have it. I might have it, or maybe I deleted it on my phone. One sec. I did take screenshots of everyone's business at one point for a video I was making, but now I've deleted it.
So Sambi Lacongo is a Belgian player. And he joined their youth academy in 2010, and he's a young player. Oh no, he signed his first contract at Anderlecht in 2017. Blah 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 blah. On 20, yeah, he signed this year. He signed this summer.
What's his age there on Wikipedia then?
Laconga. He's playing tonight. You might not have noticed him if you're an Arsenal fan, but he's playing in the midfield. Sambi Laconga. I think he's number 23. He looks all right, to be fair. People were taking the piss. I do know some things. Thanks. And he was a new signing, so he's not from the youth, and I did get his name right. Apologies in the chat, thanks.
Look at this.
There's a great song there, though, for Arsenal fans if he turns out to be good. Do, Sambi Laconga. Do. There you go. I don't know whether Arsenal fans have got the sense of humour to do that, but they do that at United.
Oh, we'd be all over that at Liverpool, mate. All over it. The cop would be belting that. That would have been done within 20 minutes.
Andrew C says, Mark, I will renew my Amazon subscription next year when the Arsenal documentary is out. It will be epic. They'll probably stick it on Comedy Gold. Well, UK Gold will be all over it, definitely.
I'd say there's every chance it's going to be cut from a 6-parter to a 2-part hour special. The season's hopes are high as they spent 50 million on Ben White to bring in a new edition. Game 1.
I tell you what, Conte, if you're watching, or Zidane, don't. Just don't. Don't think they're a sleeping giant. They're not. I know an Arsenal fan, and I've known him for years. He should be on one of these Arsenal channels because he's absolutely brilliant. He's not one of these moaners for moaning's sake. He's like, we are shit. We are where we deserve to be. The way the club's run's a joke. We haven't got enough good players. We've retained Deadwood for years and we buy shit. And I'm like, I've never heard an Arsenal fan like this. Ben White, bend over more like, says Retro. I don't know about that. I tell you what, Brentford manager's so bothered he's just doing his Tesco shop. Did you see him on that laptop then?
Yeah, even that he was just checking his...
Get 2 packets of Doritos.
Just checking his FPL score. He forgot to join Dog Dad's League.
Yeah. I'm definitely in Dog Dad's League. I don't know why I'm not. I'm not happy about that.
Do you have... Oh, you've got Tony, yeah, so that would be the only thing you'd miss out on probably, wouldn't it? Oh, no, you missed the whole round, actually. What, mate,
you've done well to be in the Creators League for with Thogdad because there's some real big hitters in there. Me, Smithy, Cam Kirkham, Jack Mate.
I see you were flirting with him again earlier on. Oh, Jack! Oh, Jack! You've been on twice, mate. Relax.
It's just mates.
Relax.
Spencer's in there as well. Alfie Indra, Ben Foster, Stunt Peg. And then you. It sort of ruins it, really.
Again, think of me as that, like, the happy hour where they're inviting on the small creator. Think of it as that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pogdad said, well, look, he did do predictions for us once when he had that one moment of success, so fuck it, would be nice.
It is. It's a who's who of footballing YouTube and Craig. Brentford to do a Sheffield United to Steve Locke. Look, mate, on a serious note, the big positive is Brentford losing. Is Arsenal losing. But for me, Craig, I'm all for this. At the start of last season, when Villa smashed Liverpool and other teams were beating other people, I know it wasn't great for you, but I was loving it. I was like, I love anybody can beat anybody football, but I do think Brentford. I've tipped Brentford to go down. Have you?
No.
No, we haven't.
Yes. No, hang on. Yeah, it was Norwich. I knew there was one of the three. I've gone for Watford, Brentford, and Burnley to go down.
Well, look, great. Look, we've got a Friday night treat here. It's Premier League football's back. And we are going to be back at 3:00 tomorrow with Chelsea Palace. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We've got Spurs and Man City as well on Sunday. So loads and loads of stuff to get involved with this season. Champions League football. We're not doing Europa League football. That can get in the bin. But we will be doing Champions League, Premier League. We might even do, I don't know, Craig. We might do the odd. You like your Spanish football. You might do the odd sort of El Clasico, and I like my Italian football. So we're not going to do any French football. Piss on that. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. And also make sure you subscribe because we're fast approaching 500,000. I mean, there's an outside chance we can hit 500,000 this weekend with the amount of watch-alongs we're doing. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. The most watched football online channel across the Euros. That's football. We smashed everyone out of the park. You smashed everyone out of the park. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. And get involved. Velan Outdoors says Grealish is the snake. Glad he's out of our club. He's injury prone and we got 100 million and bought in an upgrade in Leon Bailey. Up the Villa, says Velan Outdoors. It's that sort of football positivity you need. Move on, mate. Exactly, move on. Whether it's true or not. Lovely cross! Oh! I love how the defender goes, it's fine. It's fine.
All I'm going to say is, you're welcome, Mark. Most watched channel across the Euros, you are welcome.
Thanks. No, I think you've got the right words wrong there. Should be, you are genius. I tell you what I loved about that cross. I don't know what his name is. What's his name? Is it Murray or something who plays centre-back for Arsenal? The cross comes in anyway. He's in no man's land. If the Brentford player's in the right position, he's got a header in. And as it goes over his head, the Arsenal defender puts his hands in the air as if it's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's like that gif of the bloke, Leslie Nielsen, where he's going, it's fine. And behind him, the house is on fire. Arsenal defence fills me with about as much confidence as bloody Ronald McDonald looking after Macau.
I'll tell you what this has done, me joining up at That's Football for the season, Mark. It has absolutely done wonders for how much I can bullshit sponsors about the reach I have.
Yep, good idea. You can bullshit sponsors anyway. I was on about this with Drawty earlier. The amount of fucking channels now who are going, #1 football channel and online. I'm like, really? Are you? Really? People just lie. So crack on with it, mate. Arsenal have done sod all since they've gone 1-0 down. They were good before at 0-0. But since they've gone 1-0 down, oh my God. Shambles, Craig. I don't know what you think. And everyone at home. It's gone quiet.
Sorry, there's a sing-along going on in my back garden or something by the sounds of it.
We can't
There's a sing-along going on somewhere near my house.
Brentford fans in Ireland. You've got a big support, apparently.
Genuinely, one, where was my invite?
They're probably celebrating because they know you can't come. Hey, he's doing a watch-along. He can't come. Quick, party.
He's doing all right at this YouTube, my lark. There's a good chance he'll be out of this estate soon. Oh, sorry, Mark. I should explain. An estate is where you live in an area with other people, and some houses are attached.
Yeah, I used to live in one of them.
Before I bought the whole thing.
I wish. So we have got 1 minute added on here. So Arsenal are going to go 1-0 down. And that is half time. Totally deserved. Yeah.
I love the mix of the crowd there as well, by the way. Every age, like elderly, youth, men, women, kids, families, everyone together. It's a good mix, great atmosphere. And again, just lifts the heart to see Premier League football back and fans inside the grounds.
Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up,
Stand up.
stand up, stand up. It's fantastic to see football back. Just a little appreciation for all your work. Thanks, and what's the score for tomorrow, says Luke Julian. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. 2-1 United tomorrow. What are you going for in the Leeds Man United game, Craig? I can't remember what you said.
I think it beat them. I think what you've said sounds about right, to be fair. I think Leeds will score, but I do think he'll ultimately have too much for them.
William Rigby, who is a Liverpool fan, says, who's your FBL captain? And he's put hashtag Ice Cold Tony. Well, he ain't got anything yet, has he? Didn't get an assist in that, and he didn't get the goal. So mine's Salah. Yours is Salah as well, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely.
Serious thoughts on the game, and then we're going to talk about a few comments from Jurgen Klopp. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. We're going to have a lot of fun on this channel this year, and you're all very, very welcome. So make sure you subscribe on that road to 500,000. But thoughts on that half, Craig? Let's digest it. I thought Arsenal started off quite well. Typically, they couldn't defend a packet of crisps from a bloody dead ant, and they concede a goal. And then, typically, they turn into Jelly Babies FC. There's no response, and they're going to need a right bollocking at half-time. I think they will respond, but I thought shambolic. If I was an Arsenal fan, the thing that would piss me off is they looked okay at 0-0, concede a goal, heads drop, weak mentality.
I think you've absolutely nailed it. And the big question is, what if they come out second half and there's a little error? Will it get to them again? How much will conceding that goal rock them? Like, they didn't immediately come back into it when they conceded it. As the half wore on, I thought Brentford even looked stronger. So it is going to be a big team talk for Arteta, and they're going to need the leaders, if there are any, in that dressing room to stand up.
And remember, if Arsenal lose this game, after 3 games, they're going to have the same amount as Champions League trophies as Man City. 0. They'll have 0 points because they've got Chelsea and Man City after this.
Yeah, you would have been banking on this as a 3-pointer, wouldn't you, for your opening?
Just to have 3 points at the international break. You know, they'll be bottom of the league. If they lose this game, they'll be bottom of the league in the international break because Chelsea and Man City will have a field day with this Arsenal side. They will. It's a tough start to the season for Arsenal, apart from tonight, and they needed to win it, and they still need to win it. I tell you what, though, Craig, on a serious note, where do you sit on Arteta? I mean, so there's plenty of Arsenal fans who'd like to sit and shit on him at the moment. I tell you what, he won't be very popular, but if he's got no points after 3 games, which is very realistic, if they lose tonight, they play Chelsea and Man City next. If he's got no points in the international break, that means we'd be 5 weeks into the season and Arsenal have no points.
And I'm not saying this just to try and cast shade or anything. I'm genuinely trying to be serious. I don't understand why they appointed him. Because he was Pep Guardiola's number 2 means 0 to me. They obviously know that there's a coach in there. They've got rave reviews from somebody that there's a coach in there. But where they were, I don't think they need somebody to help the rebuild. You don't turn to a young, untrusted coach in those scenarios. You turn to a steady hand to try and steady the ship. Make yourselves at least in Europa League football consistently and then try to push on. I never understood the appointment, if I'm being honest.
I think they thought they were getting Pep's. I think they thought they were getting the next Pep. He sits next to Pep. He must be the next Pep. Well, you know what? When I used to go to work in Ireland, there was the same person who used to sit next to me. They weren't me. So, you know, it doesn't matter whether he sat next to him or not. But it seems to me Arsenal picked Arteta because he sat next to Pep. And he used to play for them. And I've seen no evidence from Arteta ever that he plays anything like the Man City team that he used to sit next to Pep with. And I don't know why that is, but I must admit, I actually think Arsenal fans are spoilt and impatient, some of them. And I think that it's almost like they want to get this. I think there's a part of, I think some Arsenal fans actually enjoy losing because they've become such a cliche that they're associated with that. They're almost famous for that. And I think they actually deep down quite like losing because I don't think they've got the patience to rebuild. And I'm telling you now.
Bit of sadomasochist. What is it called?
Sadomasochists. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't get the words
because
out.
to be honest, you're not going to flick a switch. You saw it with Liverpool. Some would say that took 30 years. It didn't. It took Klopp to come in, and then it took however long it took Klopp to do it. But
we've seen consistent improvements every single year under Klopp. Yeah. We knew we were going in the right direction. Plus, he had the reputation alone that he was always going to get the time, no matter what. Look, we knew it. Usually, I actually hate that September international break. By the way, it's the one that drives me mad the most. But I've got to be a little bit greedy and say this year it worked out rather well for me because I get to go over to Leeds to watch Josh Warrington fight Lara. So I'm not too upset about it this time. But I don't like the international break that early normally.
Mark, do you know why your mate in the hat is not on the famous Arsenal channel anymore? Great to see Craigo here again. In all seriousness, I hope DT's all right. You know, me and him getting all right. I don't know. I've not heard anything. I didn't even know he wasn't on there. I saw his tweet a couple of weeks ago, and I do hope he's all right. Lukaku is going.
I don't know. Go on, mate. I don't know him at all either. I've never met the guy, but I would echo your sentiments. I never wish ill health or bad feeling on anybody. And yeah, with you, I hope he is okay.
Yeah, we've had our history, but you know what? We get on all right now. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Lukaku is going to have his first game against Arsenal as well, says Ty Wood. Instead of taking the knee, which some see as divisive, should the Premier League clubs take 30 seconds to laugh at Arsenal, we'd all back that, says Wayne List. Oh, bloody hell. And Arsenal remind me of my nan. Toothless, frail, and both have equal chance of winning the Premier League, says Luke Jones. Well, can we also just take a minute for Sean Wright-Phillips? I mean, this is the Pratt who said he'd rather have Ben White than Rafael Varane. Life comes at you fast, Sean. 1 minute you're talking shit, the next one it's hitting you in the face. Blowback. But he's a nice lad, Sean Wright-Phillips, but we're all full of those opinions. It reminds me of a certain idiot saying, why have Liverpool spent 75 million on Van Dijk? He's a Dutch Chris Smalling. That idiot was me. So we all get it wrong.
I seen an article the other day. They started off by calling him Manchester City legend, but then it quickly became the former player. Trevor Sinclair saying that, Liverpool are going to finish outside the top four.
Hey, Trevor Sinclair's had more clubs than bloody Rory McIlroy. Look at his Wikipedia page. I saw him the other day talking about Man City and he was going, we. I thought, Man City, we? I would never associate Trevor Sinclair. I know he played for them, so I checked his Wikipedia page. He's played for at least 2 other clubs more. He had more appearances for West Ham and he had more appearances for QPR. I mean, if he's calling Man City we, he must say we more than bloody Zinedine Zidane, because he's got we. Oh, is every club you play for we now? It's like Stan Collymore. He talks about Liverpool we, Villa we, Forest we. It's like being in bloody Paris with this lot. Every club's your bloody is your team. It must be great.
You did the crossbar challenge at #United's ground, didn't you? So you can call them we now every time.
Yeah, is that their ground? Is it?
I thought it was.
No,
I thought that's where it was.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's my bad. Apologies. I wouldn't know, having not been invited.
Well, I was talking to Spencer afterwards for quite a long time.
He is an absolute... I don't know Spencer, but I have nothing but the height of admiration for the balls on that man for everything that he's done. Tip my cap to him.
Anyway, Spencer, block him quick. He'll be in every...
I won't, because I'm not into esports, so I'm all right. He's safe. Jack, mate, and Stevie, keep an eye out, but Spencer's safe.
You're screwed. There's been an update from Fabrizio Romano, actually. Let me just have a quick look, because it's to do with United. Arsenal fans will be saying, I hope it's Arteta out. Amad Diallo is expected to leave Manchester United on loan this summer. Basel and Crystal Palace have been asking for Amad on loan until 2022. Bloody hell. You know what? It better be bloody Palace.
I don't know, mate. Basel can play some good stuff. You want him to go and excel and express himself without the pressure of...
Where is Basel?
Eyes on him. Yeah. I mean, that's where Mohamed Salah came from originally. There's been some great players come through Basel's system over the years. And I tell you what, if I was a United fan and those two choices, I'd want him off the Basel to get a chance to express himself without so many eyes on him and really develop.
No, I'd want him at Palace. Playing Premier League football. Definitely.
New manager, bit of a risk there though as well.
Yeah, stability is important on a loan deal, definitely. What do you think about well, first of all, do you think Arsenal are going to come back in the second half?
I think a draw. I predict a draw at the start of the game. So, they need to. If Brentford score a second, it's done. But I think Arsenal could get a draw out of this.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reason I'm enjoying the banter right now is because I think Arsenal will come back. I still think they could end up winning it. So, but Jurgen Klopp, I had to call him out. I've got no problem with Klopp, actually. I've got no problem with Liverpool. I think there will be a threat this year. But he was talking about people spending money. I thought, this is a good question for Craig. He's talking about people spending money, and he was basically, I don't know how you expect it with City and Chelsea, but I don't know how United are spending money. And I thought, you know what? Is he just deflecting blame there? Because I don't think Liverpool have spent enough money. What are your thoughts on them comments?
Obviously, I want to back my manager, whom I love dearly, but I think it's more the way I read this is I can understand how United spend money because you're a money making machine. Everybody knows that Manchester United's financial clout is there for everyone to see, and if anything, it's been underutilized by your owners and the repayments. But I think it's his own frustration at our own lack of business. And I've always been of the belief that secretly I think he's starting to get a little bit frustrated with the lack of backing from the board because he's worked miracles. And I think his own good management and coaching skills along with Pep Linders have covered a lot of stuff for FSG. So I don't know if he's, if that's a bit of a call to the owners to say, if other clubs can do it, get your fingers out. I don't think he is not well informed enough to understand how United make that much money.
Have any of you been watching The 100? Says Oliver Smith. No. I've seen 300 with the bloke with the beard and the sword. And hilarious Ben White was actually surrounded by better defenders at Brighton, says Owen Stanley. Yeah, I just think with Liverpool, I said it on social media today. Man United are spending money because Man United fans got on the ground and got a game cancelled and they were shitting themselves. Your owner put a video out and everyone went, that's all right. And I've had Liverpool fans messaging me all day saying, nah, bullshit, that's not why you're spending money. I know this club. The Glazers were shitting themselves at the end of last season. They knew they had to go out and get a couple of players because they needed to sell shirts for a new team sponsor, which is the most important thing, and they needed to get the fans off their back. If they'd have spent no money this summer, the protests would be happening tomorrow. We're at Old Trafford tomorrow. Nobody's doing anything.
I don't think, from our point of view, it's a that's all right. That's not the temperature of the fan base that I've been hearing and taking anyway. It's more we want our manager to be happy and we are behind Klopp and the players. The owners can go and take a short walk off a bridge for all we care. They've shown their true colours and there's no coming back from that Super League fiasco. I think we trust the group and the manager, but I can tell you there's certainly a lot of bad feeling towards our owners. And actually, interestingly, I spoke to Alex Goldberg the other day, who happens to be a big Boston Red Sox fan, and we were talking about FSG's ownership of the Red Sox, and he was saying to me that they are completely tone deaf when it comes to the fans' feelings and the temperature of a fan base. And I think they've shown that at Liverpool numerous times as well. But there's certainly a lot of strong feeling made from our side about wanting the owners to get their finger out because it is a shambles. And they constantly brag about new record kit deals and sponsorships and television revenue and all of this stuff. And yet, we get the excuse of COVID. Well, COVID was supposed to be covered for our owners. They sold 10% of their holdings for £536 million to Jerry Cardinal. So, that was supposed to patch over it. So I don't see how we don't have money. I think even Klopp, as we touched on a minute, I was getting pissed off about it.
I don't want to upset Liverpool fans. I don't care if I upset Liverpool fans, but I can only talk about my club. I don't know the politics of yours. I can't tell you should have been protesting because, as I know, the rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool is a real rivalry because we're very similar. That's why we don't like each other. The history, the passion. It's not my job, and I never would tell Liverpool fans what they need to do. But when Liverpool fans are in my mentions telling me I'm wrong telling you why United spent money this summer, don't stick your nose in my business and I won't stick my nose in your business. The reason the Glazers spent money this summer is because they had a brand new team sponsor, they had 3 new kits, and they had fans who were protesting. If they hadn't bought Sancho and Varane, they'd still be protesting. They had to buy those players to try and right the wrongs of last season, and that's why we've done what we've done.
To me, that makes perfect sense, and I wouldn't dare try and tell a United fan how they know their club better than me. But for our point of view, I guess our frustration came as well when we launched with Nike, and we were expecting the big name. We were expecting the big, the big shirt seller because of that new deal. So I certainly wouldn't, ever say to a United fan they don't know what the pulse of the club is. But I think Liverpool fans have shown as well, with the way that they basically chased Hicks and Gillette out of town, that they can come
Yeah.
together and be
Liverpool,
a
Liverpool,
force.
Liverpool are probably better than United fans in relation to their recent history of getting rid of managers and owners. They've shown the way, and I think United fans at the end of last season, I was very proud of them. We actually did massive damage to the Glazing. I think that's why they've reacted how they have. Owen Smith, we're just about to kick off the second half here. We're just waiting for the players to come on the pitch. Actually, why didn't you go on the Sky Overlap event? I don't know whether it was. I don't think it was called the Overlap. It was called something else, wasn't it? I know what you're on about. You're on about the bloody Carragher and Neville thing, mate. I should be on that, but I'm not really. I'm not going to lose any sleep about it. I don't get asked on that because I'm the guy who sits there and calls them slow sports news. So they're probably not. They're probably quite bitter. They're like a pint of Murphy's. They're bitter, or Theakston's as you call it in Ireland, or Boddington.
Do you want me to give you a little laugh? I mean, obviously, I'm nowhere near the level of you guys and stuff, but
No, I didn't get invited. You're right, and I'm not bothered because they won't invite me because live by the sword, you die by the sword. I'm the nicest guy on YouTube. Craig won't like this, but I'm the nicest guy on YouTube. But I don't do bullshit. I'll call people out for it. But everyone I meet will tell you he's a nice guy. You can trust him. This, that, and the other. People who say,
and I would agree.
The people who don't do it are the people who are wankers themselves. And I'll call them out.
What I was going to say was, yes, I did. I agree. You've always been very good to me behind the scenes and publicly as well, and that's why we're sitting here doing this. But what gets to me is I get invited to a few things, not that Sky thing. And if you can't do them, you like to try and look after somebody else, don't you? You like to try and say, give it to X or Y. I've had experiences where I've done that, passed it on to somebody who I don't even know, but I know has a fan channel, and then got them bragging about how they got a gig I didn't get.
Let's see what happens in the second half. You know what? I was going to continue the joke and say, why wasn't I invited? I'm quite clearly the biggest influencer in football fan channels, which I think I can actually, argue about. But that's not what I'm all about. The reality is, I think it was to do with Sky Bet, and I can't do anything to do with any other betting brand because obviously I'm with Paddy Power for the year, so I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But look, at the end of the day, I thought it was quite entertaining. Would have been more entertaining if I'd been on it than Craig, but what can you do? Hard to know where to invest in that Liverpool team, says Ola.
It is a tough one. I mean, let's put it this way, we're looking for an attacker at the minute at Liverpool, and if you're a player we're interested in, you've got to really, really believe in yourself to look at Diogo Jota, Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, Mohamed Salah, maybe even Harvey Elliott and go, yeah, I'm going to force my way in there. It takes somebody with a big personality and a big pair to think that they can come in and do that. So I do understand that it is tricky.
Levi, I did see him arguing with Carragher and Keane and Neville yet. But ultimately, I've got to be honest, they did it 2 years ago and the same thing happened. If you are one of these people invited to this, you get to ask questions of Gary Neville and that lot. If I was there, you're just going to get in an argument with them because it's going to go viral, isn't it? I think a lot of it is staged and I think a lot of it is opportunist, but, fair play to them. I'd do the same.
I wouldn't last 5 minutes on anything like that, mate, because I'd be calling them all out for the spoofers that they are.
Well, exactly. I think that that's why they do it. I think they leave themselves wide open for that to happen, don't they? It's all a bit of fun. But Arsenal on the attack here. They need to get back into this game. They really do. Going back to the Liverpool point, though, I think what Liverpool need to do is they don't need to be buying players like Jadon Sancho. Wait a minute, Arsenal on the attack. Cherney, cross, keeper's got it. They don't need to be buying... I quite like the look of this goalkeeper for Brentford. He looks steady, by the way. But they don't need to be They don't need to be buying a Sancho who's going to demand to play. I think what Liverpool need to do is they need to buy like an Isaac or that Belgian lad who looked good. What was his name? Doku.
There's two names, Mark. There's two names that one I brought before anybody else. And I don't get the credit I deserve on this one. I called it a year ago. But anyway, apart from Jeremy Doku, who has widely been known, and we brought him at Anfield at 15 or 16, Harvey Barnes is another player Liverpool are very fond of.
Yeah. He'd be good. Yeah, look, Mane and Salah are still two of the best wide forwards in the world when they're on it. So there's not many players you're going to buy that are going to come in and dislodge them, no matter how good they are. So you need to be bringing in talented players who are, really happy to come to Liverpool, but have the ability to take their places in the next couple of years. That's what Liverpool should do. You can't just say, we're not buying anyone because it's difficult, because there's plenty of players you could buy, but there's a certain type of player you do need to buy. I'm surprised you haven't. I think Konate is a good signing. My fear as a Liverpool fan would be, and I don't know about you, is that, look, as a United fan, I'm worried about the midfield. As a Liverpool fan, I'd be, what if we lose Salah or Mane for 3 months?
100%. I mean, I'm excited at the prospect of Harvey Elliott coming in, but the way he's been utilised by Klopp now, it seems like he's more in the space behind the front three. But we are going to lose them. We're going to lose them both to the AFCON, which will be a minimum, I think, of 3 games. And
when's that? I totally agree. Again, is it?
Yeah, January.
I thought they'd stop that now. Yeah,
they did. It was a summer tournament.
I'll leave you to it for a minute. I won't be a minute.
Yeah. So, it was a summer tournament, as I'm sure most of you guys know. They brought it back to January, and we are going to lose Naby Keita if he's still fit at that point. Fingers crossed. We're going to lose Salah. We're going to lose Mane. But from my perspective, from a Liverpool point of view, I think that the likes of a Diogo Jota signing, somebody who can come in, back himself, and prove that he has value and worth there. And I personally love a Harvey Barnes or a Pedro Neto when he comes back from injury, or Jeremy Doku. So it is hard to improve when you're at the top. But, we showed last year that maybe our squad is a little bit too thin. And with those injuries to Van Dijk, Gomez and the likes, our season just completely fell apart. And I'm quite frustrated at that gamble being taken again by our owners. No Liverpool fan you'll meet will question the manager. But look, we'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section below as well. And again, Arsenal have started off, just as Mark predicted, the second half very well here, but still really to cause any danger to the Brentford goal. And it'll be intriguing to see if Brentford can catch them on the counter, because they look confident as well. What a time to be back, though. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Football is back, Premier League. And I'm delighted to be here. So again, thank you for welcoming me to That's Football. You'll be seeing me right throughout the season. And tomorrow, we can get it out of the way nice and early. I'll be doing the Chelsea game on my own. So I'll hold up a sign that says Mark won't be joining me tomorrow, because I know a lot of people get disappointed when it's just little old me. But hopefully you'll grow to like me as the season goes on. Arsenal with a chance. Good save. Good save. Good break into the box from Smith Rowe there, forcing the keeper into a save. Probably could have done a bit better with the final attempt. But again, there is the first real chance of this second half for Arsenal. It was a good save by the Brentford keeper. Look, lovely turn. You got to give credit where it's due there. Lovely piece of play by Smith Rowe. Drives into the box, gets a strike away. Brentford bodies throw themselves at it, but maybe just did enough to put him off. But great play by Emile Smith Rowe. You can see that he is a talented young man. And certainly, I think somebody who Arsenal fans are pinning a lot of hopes on, and rightly so. Southgate will have been watching that as well, knowing that he's got another good young player on his hands. I do have to say, the level of talent and youth coming through for England is scary. It is the best I've seen in my almost 40 years on this planet. And I'm hoping that there's a similar level coming through at Irish level for us. Oh, another good opportunity, but again, the keeper does well. They're starting to thread it together now, Arsenal. They're starting to up the tempo a bit, and you just wonder, it'll be interesting to see how Brentford react to this. If they start getting a bit edgy about it themselves, getting so close, perhaps, as the clock goes by to those first 3 points. Tony does really well there, though. Great centre-forward hold-up play. Ball back out right-hand side. Couple of step overs. Here we go. Still in possession. Little ball in. Cleared by Arsenal. They're going to be an easy watch this season, Brentford. I think we're going to enjoy seeing them in the Premier League. I think there's definitely going to be a watchable team. I'd always rather see a team like this come up than have to sit through a Burnley-type performance.
Mark's so cute, says why though? That's nice to come back and sit down to.
You typed that before. You were in the kitchen or wherever you were, mate. You typed that before you came back in.
Jenks, we've both gone with 2-1. Just while I sit down, actually, please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We are really excited about hitting 500,000 on this channel. It's a fantastic channel. I really believe in this channel. I think it's going to go on to big, big things. You know, it started off as a bit of a, let's just do a watch along. And obviously we've got Craig involved. I think we will get more people involved in the future as well as we build out something that I think can be really, really special. So please do subscribe. It's you who make it. And we had a fantastic Euros. I think we're going to have a fantastic season. Maybe not if you're an Arsenal fan, but look, hang in there. At least you've got 38 games to watch. At some point, something will go your way.
You missed a good opportunity actually when you were gone there, Mark. Emil Smith-Rowe, lovely bit of turning on the inside of Brentford's half, ran directly into the box, but just couldn't put the save past the keeper.
Ben White looks like a lad who's got the weight of his world on his shoulders already, doesn't he?
He looks like a lad, yeah, just straight back off 2 weeks in Ibiza, and he's like still recovering, hasn't quite gotten over, hasn't sweated out the Jaeger bombs out just yet.
Levi says, quick question, do you know if there's any competitions to win tickets for United games or anything? Love to go, but tickets too expensive for me. I'm sure there are. I mean, we would never do anything like that because it's probably not legal, to be honest with you. So, no, we've got nothing like that going on, but... Opinions on Norwich versus Liverpool, says Peg. I think that Liverpool will win it, mate. Yeah.
Same. I'm not expecting an easy evening, though. I'm expecting Norwich again, high tempo, but I think ultimately will be too strong for them. And it's usually a happy hunting ground for us as well. I wonder if Dealey will be on the sherry, though, ready for half time.
Come on. Let's be having you. You know what? I actually thought that was a really good half-time speech, and the reception she got for it was embarrassing. They just didn't respond, did they?
It feels like I could see myself doing it, mate. I'm not lying to you. Let's be having you, the 12th man. I could see myself doing that after, if I had one too many drinks, thinking this will go down well. I love this.
Pepe gets the ball wide to Tierney, attacks the box, good cross to the back post. Oh, it's over Smith-Rowe. Arsenal pushing here. I mean, to be fair, Arsenal have got to be looking for a win here. There's still plenty of time for the go of the win. First off, get an equaliser, but
good defending.
Yeah, the longer this goes, that's a throw in as well. Where are you then? Says Matthew McFadden. I mean, look, to be honest with you, I've done. You've got a bit of public speaking to do, haven't you? Coming up very soon.
Yeah, I did. I have a couple of things. I did an event for a multinational PR company yesterday, and I'm doing a media panel at the University of Limerick, which I'm always proud and happy to do as well. And I love a bit of public speaking. Nothing beats. I said it to you before, mate. You got to watch that Any Given Sunday speech.
I was going to watch Any Given Sunday. It's 3 hours long, and then Rotten Tomatoes said it's shit. So I was like, I don't know whether...
Just watch the speech. Just Google Al Pacino speech Any Given Sunday. It's about 5 minutes long. That's all you need to know. Just that speech.
Thanks for the super chat from Ryan Burke. Saka's coming on. Yeah, Arsenal need it at the moment. I'm surprised they didn't start.
I really, really, really wanted him before he signed his contract at Arsenal. I really wanted Liverpool to nick him from under their noses.
Maybe he's just not fit.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember, same with Jordan Henderson as well. England made it to the final of the Euros, so they would have been the last group of lads back.
Yeah.
So what is the latest on Varane then? When is that going to be announced for you guys?
Fuck knows, mate. Some people think it's going to happen on the pitch tomorrow. I tell you what, if they're doing it on the pitch tomorrow, United fans are bigger mugs than we think we actually are. I mean, you really think United's plan was to not sign him on Wednesday so we could play against Leeds, so we could announce him on the pitch against Leeds? Come on. They might do it as a desperation thing, but that to me would be the most disappointing thing to get celebrated in a long time. If fans actually went, oh, elite, we've kept it back so we can announce him on the pitch. Yeah, we could have done it on Wednesday, but we thought we'd do it on Saturday so he can't play on Saturday just so we could put him on the pitch. Yeah, come on. Any Given Sunday is worth a watch, says Muzzy Light. I'm going to give it a watch, but it doesn't have... It's a bit of a mixed bag in relation to the reviews. Here comes Saka. He's got half an hour. He is the big hope for Arsenal, really, isn't he? He is the player. I mean, they are missing Aubameyang and Lacazette, but to be honest with you, I don't rate Lacazette anyway. And Aubameyang, since he's had his new contract, is very hot and cold.
He's getting older as well, Aubameyang. What is he now, 32?
Of course, Saka gets clapped for coming on. It's sad that. It's really sad that opposition fans have to stand up and applaud him because of racial abuse he got after an England game.
It is, but it's also lovely to see.
No.
It
That's
is
what I
also
mean. It's
full
great
credit.
to see.
Like,
It's great to see, but it's sad that racism has to, he has to be applauded. Not has to be. My point is, it's just. I think there is an element of sadness to have to, fans of opposition fans have to show solidarity, which is right, because of racists who slagged him off. What I was trying to get to is that there was a time when he wouldn't have been racially abused and he'd be coming on and being bantered by Brentford fans for missing the penalty, which is all good fun and what football's all about. But because of these knobheads with their racism, quite rightly, the Brentford fans applaud him to give him that support from disgusting behaviour. But I think it's sad that has to happen in the first place because of the racists. I'd love to see the days where he comes on and gets bantered a bit for missing a penalty. But, we're still living in this world. And I think we're still going to be living in this world for quite a while until these social media companies do something. Because, look, at the end of the day, how long is it going to be before a black footballer for United or Liverpool makes a mistake and they're getting it again? I don't think it's gone anywhere.
It's kind of a double-edged sword to me in a way of how do I describe this? Obviously, I'm far from educated enough to really speak on the subject, but the more you highlight the racial tweets, I feel the more people do it to bring that attention around. I don't think anybody should. I just can't comprehend, Mark, how you judge another human being on their sexual orientation, their religion, the color of their skin, their nationality. Yeah, I know it's cheesy, but I treat people how they treat me. And if I don't know somebody, if I think a footballer shit, I'll say I think a footballer shit, but that'll be based on their ability. How hurt and how damaged inside do people have to be to want to express that much hate? There is the anger, but I genuinely, part of me wants them to be educated, and I don't like the idea of people feeling that they need to vent hate that much. It says more about them, obviously, but I'm sad that
there's a lot of hate in this world, though, mate.
And it's being done intentionally. Everything is divisive. There is no middle ground anymore. We're being put into boxes left and right.
Look, it's not the same thing, but I thought that was their manager getting ready to come on then because he's got long hair. You know what? If you said on this stream tonight, my big weakness is that I had a pet cat when I was 6 called Randy, and he got run over by a car, and it really damages me, and it really sends me to a bad place. All the knobheads would be all over anything you ever did, going, your fucking cat got run over, because it's a weakness.
I get it.
That's why
I get it about my mum, mate. My mum committed suicide, and I often, every stream, I'll get 15, 16 posts going, how's your mum?
And that's it. You want to be honest with the people who support you, because that's what honesty is. It's heart on your sleeve. But unfortunately, and this is obviously escalated to a different level with racism, because people can see that they are black players, they go in with the racism. Because you mentioned that about your mother, the same evil cretins will go in about that. And unfortunately, it's not just racism. It happens with a lot of other things as well. And these people exist, and they're a stain on society, sadly. But I tell you what, it's why when I do my stuff, I have to think twice when I tell anything that I was talking to Jack mate about this before a podcast. We were talking about a certain topic, and I went, I think we should.
Sorry, I'm smiling. I'm only smiling because of the Jack mate thing before a certain podcast.
We were talking about something both of us had experienced, and he said, should we go there in the podcast? And I was like, no, because if we do, then it's something that obviously bothers us. And it's a great topic to discuss because I think nice people will really, understand it. But the prats out there will never let us. They'll always be on us about it, and it will cause us a lot of pain. So we just didn't discuss it, but which is sad. And it's even worse if you're a black footballer, because that's just, that's not that's just, just because it's just not right. But
I've just decided to go the other way, mate. I've just decided to go. I'm going to share my life, my ups and downs, because, I think it's important that people see the downs and the ups and people realize that it's okay. Now, I'm not, of course, saying that yourself and Jack May didn't make the right decision. I'm just saying I don't want to let people win. I don't want to let the negative people win. And I know what from my own experiences, I was that bitter, angry person that hated the world. But over the past 2 years, and I think you had a moment of self-awareness at one point about attitude towards opposition fans, and for me it was just
Pepe.
I can be who I want to be. I can be a soft person. I don't have to be who I think my dad or
Ooh, close chance there. It broke to Tierney, hit a shot, and it just deflected wide off his right foot. Arsenal moving the ball around quite widely there. Yeah, sorry, mate, carry on.
Yeah, I don't have to be, an alpha male. I don't have to be, what maybe my family perceive what they want. Like my family thought a lot of them thought psychiatry and psychology was a load of nonsense, but it's changed my life massively. So what I'm basically trying to say to people is be you and screw anybody who's anything else to say about it. Because there are those that will have your back and will always be with you.
Ooh.
And there are those who won't, and screw them because you don't want them in your life anyway. And one of the reasons I'm sitting here with Mark is because I trust Mark. I've told Mark things that have never gone anywhere else. And, he's a good guy and I've got fun. And, for me, trust in work is important. And I know he doesn't need his ego polished anymore, by the way. But basically, yeah. And that's me. That's the way I do it.
Just to move on quickly, Martinelli front post corner, flick on, Poundland Greenwood, missed. Could have scored there.
I couldn't have picked the worst time, could I, to start talking because Arsenal
they've had a couple of chances. Arsenal fans are probably enjoying the distraction, just saying there's more to football than Arsenal, which is probably not a bad mantra for an Arsenal fan. But it's 25 minutes. They've had 11 shots to Brentford's 1. Don't feel it. To be honest, I don't feel it's been that sort of a game. Statistically, you'd go, "Oh, Brentford have parked the bus. They've been very lucky." But I'd be very surprised if Arsenal don't get something out of this. But then again, never be surprised by Arsenal. Hi, Mark.
Space here.
There is a bit of a space here for Brentford to attack, actually. Approaches the box, gets his feet right. Good. Again. I think it was the same player, wasn't it? I don't know. He's wearing red and white.
I think it was Sergi Canos, number 7, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good shot on him. Swift Official Tube says, "Hi Mark, looking forward to the season. Would a 2-horse race down to the final day of the league between United and Liverpool excite you more than a 4-horse race, a packed Anfield and Old Trafford of thoughts?" Mate, I'd love to go in a head-to-head with Liverpool. Arteta out, says Zayn Miassi. Come on, Leeds. Joseph Woodbury says, condolences about your mother. My cousin passed from suicide also. It's a terrible thing, says Joseph Woodbury.
Oh.
Good save.
Oh, good save.
Arsenal.
Yeah. It's happened with both my parents, mate. My dad drank himself to death as well, but thank you, and I'm very, very sorry to hear about your own loss. I think it's important to be open about these things, though, particularly for males, because the suicide rates for young males and stuff are just ridiculous because they don't feel like they can talk, or we don't feel like we can talk. And I can still call myself a young male. I'm not 40 yet, Mark, so I'm taking it. I'm still a youngster.
If this match is anything to go by, Arsenal's season of all or nothing is going to be comedy gold, says Joshua Bowwater. I'm all for accountability online. Bring in photo ID and verification. Check if you want to use social media platforms. That's a very controversial thing, Harry, actually. I said that. And I had all sorts of blue ticks with 2 million people talking to me about human rights and this, that and the other. And I was like, look, you're not a football fan. I'm talking about football. I couldn't give a shit about what you're talking about. The reality is there's a massive problem in the football industry with people abusing people. And I think that, to be honest with you, verification is a way of stopping that. But,
here's my example. We all know that sometimes we need to find different ways to watch games, Mark. Is that fair to say? Sometimes we can't watch a 3 p.m. kickoff and we have to be inventive. Now,
not if you live in Ireland tomorrow, you can watch Craig on this channel doing a watch-along for Chelsea versus Palace, not illegally, because it's on in Ireland.
Totally legally.
So, yeah, 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Companies can very quickly figure out and block addresses and stuff like that. So they have the technology if they want to step up and find these people and ban them and block them.
Well, look, when I was in the police over 10 years ago, there was ways to track people down with bloody emails that they thought were anonymous in internet cafes. So I'm sure it's even better now. But yeah, just please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We have got watch-alongs all weekend for you. We're kicking off the Premier League today. Our next one on this channel is going to be Chelsea against Palace at 3 o'clock. But Craig will also be keeping an eye on 4 other 3 o'clock kickoffs. We're doing that for the next 2 Saturdays, actually. I'm doing next Saturday because there's a few 3 o'clock kickoffs. So we're going to be trialling that on the channel as well. So 3 o'clock's on a Saturday. You can get on this channel and get involved. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And we are on the road to 500,000. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and share the video. Who's your favourite young Irish player, says Jay Dale. I've got no idea. I'll have to ask the Irishman on that one, Craig. That's you.
I'm going extremely biased and going for Caoimhín Kelleher.
Is he the keeper?
Yeah. He's a carbon copy, image-wise, of Connor, the guy that runs Anfield Agenda with me. They look so similar.
Is he on loan, or do you keep him as a backup?
No, he signed a new deal. Adrian's on number 3. Caoimhín Kelleher's now our second choice keeper.
All right, okay. Hi Mark, looking forward to seeing Sancho play tomorrow. And is there any news on Camavinga or any midfielder? Go the Bees, says Mohammed. Yeah, check out the latest video on United Stand. I did it at 7 o'clock tonight. There's a bit of a story on Camavinga there. And Pisco says, What would you rather have, an invincible season or a Champions League title? Oh mate, Pisco. I mean, look, if an invincible season leads to the Premier League, you're asking me whether I'd rather have the Premier League or the Champions League. Actually, to be honest with you, I'd rather win the Premier League at the moment than the Champions League. But you know, if it's an invincible season and you win fuck all. Oh, I thought he'd scored there, Cherney.
Same.
It wasn't Cherney. It was Xhaka, actually. I think if it was Cherney, he would have scored it. He's hit it on the half volley, sort of on the left-hand side of the penalty box. And I think he's hit it quite well. He's just over the bar, yeah.
He's hit it too well, hasn't he?
Paul Not Nice says, sit down, Zane. Yeah, welcome back, Zane. What did I tell you over the summer? We've got an Arsenal fan called Zane Miassi. He's very generous with his super chats. But he's not generous with his intelligence around Arsenal. And, yeah. He is Arteta out, though. He has been Arteta out for a while. But your favourite Motherwell FC player, says Tom Crossman. Mate, I don't know any. Stuart McCall used to play for them. Probably used to manage him, actually.
Don't watch any Scottish football whatsoever.
Cherney. I don't know how you pronounce his bloody name. He plays for Arsenal. Kieran
Tierney.
Tierney. Yeah. Right, Nelson's just come on for Arsenal. I'm crap with names. I really am.
So am I, but just it's a very Irish name.
Bobby Robson was crap with names. So I'm in the presence of greats.
Does that mean that I could technically be your translator, so that makes me a Mourinho type figure?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, talking about Tierney, Tony hasn't delivered, has he?
No, a little bit of good hold-up play while you were going to the loo, but other than that, no, not too much. But he is one of those players, though, mate. He's one of those players that would just get 1 or 2 moments in a game and bury them. Here we go.
Nelson.
No.
Oh, easy passing to
too
you.
Long. I mean, the clock ain't their friend here. We're inside the final 19.
Yeah, I think if they don't score in the next 10 minutes, they'll do well to win it. And as I said, I think if Arsenal don't win this, I very much think they'll have 1 from 9.
Can I just say, I do love the idea of the 3 p.m. Saturday show. I mean, when we first talked about it, when you mentioned it to me, I think it's a belter of an idea.
Yeah, my idea again. I'm full of good ideas.
It's a great idea. I mean, I really do think it will do well because it's it's just great fun. I mean, and any excuse to watch football or to sit down for me is always a bonus as well. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Even though I do get to do the Chelsea game as well, I'm looking forward to having Drawdy in my ear and Connor sat to my right-hand side in the house, all helping me out with the updates as well. Connor waving at me every time there's a goal.
What's that? Oh, yeah, that'd be good, yeah. I'm yet to find... I mean, look, I've yet to find the best app for goals updates. Because it's all right if you're watching one game, unless you've got 6 on the go, which I used to have in my Dublin days, but that's nothing to do with football. Unless you've got 6.
Mate, how many lads you were in with at one time is not my business. But go on.
Well, it wasn't lads, but if it was lads, so what? But it wasn't because I don't go for that. But if you do, whatever. We're all equal. And
See,
here we go. Yeah! Get in there! It's Norgard, and he's done it. It's 2-0 to Brentford. They are shit. It's official. Arsenal are shit, Craig. They really are absolute shite. They've let a ball bounce in their box, and where's their defence? Bloody, they're still in Ibiza. Ben White's still on holiday. Back to reality. I bet you wish you were at Brighton now. Walking down the pier sucking on a bit of rock. I tell you what.
Long throw in. Look at the keeper. Look at the keeper. Look at the
He lets
state
it
of him.
bounce. Ben White lets it bounce past his head. Watch this. Watch it.
Look at Leno. Leno's more.
Look at Ben White.
More.
Oh, that's too
my
big.
God.
Oh, they're allergic to the ball. Bloody hell. What a shambles at the back.
I think, to be fair to that, it looks like Leno was just trying to enforce the 1 metre distance there for COVID rules, to be fair to him, but he made a mess of that as well, and Norgard, bang, doesn't care.
He's allergic to the ball.
Will this be a foul on the keeper, Mark?
Nah. I don't know. He doesn't look like it. To me, I don't think it's a foul, because I just don't think he can get near it. So that for me is not a foul, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not changing the score yet.
So such a simple thing, one long throw in.
Who threw it?
I don't know who actually took the throw. Goal. We're on the way. Norgard with a goal.
Well, they've lost this, mate. I'll tear out. I tell you what, though, what I love about these Arsenal fans. Oh, Ben White. Goldbridge is obsessed with Ben White. He's always slagging off Ben White. I told you, he's not worth 50 million. You've been robbed. You know, you remember the crash in the American markets by all those greedy business people? This is like that. You've been mugged off. You need to take out a crime report. When you get home, phone up the Metropolitan Police and say, I want to report a fraud. Brighton have absolutely mugged us off. 2-0 down, and you've spent £50 million on a centre-back. It's not all his fault, but for fuck's sake. All I ever hear is, Tierney's brilliant. He's one of the best left-backs in the league. Ben White, 50 million. Half your defence, mate. Half your defence is shit. And your goalkeeper's crap. What's that say? Banter FC.
Says, haha, Banter FC.
Yeah, good. Bloody joke. I tell you, they're going to have no points. No points after 3 games. This must be I tell you what. What's his name? Norris McGuirter, who used to do the Guinness Book of Records. You need to get on. Look at him. They can't believe it. But seriously, this must be some sort of record. 2 hours ago, Arsenal were going to get top 4. Arteta out. Get him out. Arteta. This must be some sort of record. How you first game of the season you can be manager out. They'll break it, mate. They'll break it. They're embarrassing. I tell you, some of their fans want to lose. They love it. Think of the views, Robbie. Think of the views. They'll bloody love this. Absolutely love it.
There is the reason why I don't watch said channel. Because of that very reason that you've said. I'm somebody who thinks, we have a bit of fun, we enjoy it. But, there has to be some acceptance of reality at times as well. We're all angry, we're all annoyed. But at the end of the day, they don't deserve that now of this game, to be honest.
Well, this is the problem with me. On a serious note, banter aside, the serious problem for me is that they'll be there, right? They'll be there going, Arteta out. It's a joke. It's a bloody disgrace. Get him out. This, that, and the other. And you know what? I've enjoyed laughing at them. But who are they? Who the fuck are you? Like, why can't Brentford beat you? Why is it? It's funny. It is funny because it's Arsenal. But I'd laugh at Everton losing to Brentford. I think it's funny. But on a serious note, was anybody expecting Arsenal to turn up and win 3-0 today? Like, comfortably. Those days had happened a decade ago. You're shit. You are shit.
I did say at the start, don't sleep on Brentford. And do you know what? This is just comes back to what we spoke about before. This is why the Premier League is so goddamn good, because you cannot rest on your laurels for 1 minute. You can't do what PSG do and send half a team out to go and play Brentford, or rest Messi. You've got to go out and you've got to be at it for 90 minutes every single week. It is the most competitive league in the world, and that's why I love it so much.
And the funny thing is as well, both those goals in a game that's been relatively tight are defensive mess-ups by people they won't go in on. Leno's at fault for both goals, by the way. And the defence terrible. George says, lads, have a look at Maddison's story. And Arsenal fans thought they were getting him. Well, I think Maddison already knows he's not going to Arsenal because they're going for Odegaard, aren't they? But no, the serious point is it's hilarious Arsenal losing. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans who are all right people. And look, it's always bloody annoying when you lose the opening game of the season. It is. But it's the arrogance of some of them. It's the justification that they're better than they think they are. Your team is crap, lads. Like, I wouldn't take any of your starting 11 apart from Saka at United. I wouldn't take any of them. For a matchday squad, I wouldn't take any of them. And we haven't even got a midfield, and I wouldn't take Xhaka. Like, I wouldn't take any of them.
I wouldn't take any of them either at Liverpool. I've got to be honest with you.
Chelsea wouldn't take any of them. Craig wouldn't take any at Liverpool. Man City, you're having a bloody laugh. So, only Saka would make a top 4 matchday squad. Why are you shocked you're losing to Brentford? Like, you're miles off. And you can moan about your manager and you can moan about your players. But for me, it's like the Glazers at United. It's like Liverpool before they had the current lot, FSG. This is from the top. You need to wake up and smell the Maxwell House, lads and ladies. Sacking another manager, you're only in the same thing will happen again. You can't polish a turd. I don't care if bloody Pep Guardiola fancies a challenge at Arsenal. He ain't changing it.
Look at the state of Leno from this corner. Is it like that? That's a joke.
He's crap. He gets let off so much. They love Leno.
He nearly punched the ball into his own net. Yeah, he's shocking. And the funny thing is, Mark, when you think about Arsenal over the years, you actually do think of decent goalkeepers. Seaman, Lehmann. You think of them having some decent shot stoppers and keepers over the years.
Mate, a half-decent goalkeeper, this is still 0-0. A joke, what the hell is going on, says Zayn Miasi. Mate, your keeper's shit,
reality.
Mate.
Welcome to it. I want to go back to something you touched on earlier on, actually. One of the viewers asked if you take an invincible season or a Champions League. I'm somebody that genuinely, when we had that chance to potentially go invincible at Liverpool at one point, I kept saying, I don't care about an invincible season. To me, the Manchester City 100-point season is the most impressive season, and that was the goal I wanted us to break. Yeah. I didn't care if we lost or drew a game. I just think whoever puts the most points on the board in a 38-game season has had the greatest season.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, the treble is the best thing you can do. Obviously, I saw United do that. Was I impressed by the invincible season for Arsenal? I'll give it credit, but I personally think I've seen better Arsenal teams than the Invincibles. And they drew 12 games. That's a third of your season. They drew 12 games. So I think they almost got into... In fact, they did. I remember it. They got to that point where they were so obsessed with being invincible, they actually was sort of playing for draws. So, I mean, that's why a 100-point season's better, because you're actually playing to win, aren't you?
And I think that's how I would measure it in my own head. And that's how I was thinking of it when Liverpool were having a very good season. At the time, I thought, look, I want us to... We ended up on 99, but I'd love us to have broken the 100-point barrier, because that would, to me, make Liverpool's team the greatest single season of a Premier League era. I'm not saying the greatest team of all time, because, there's been a lot of good United teams, Arsenal teams, Chelsea teams. But, I don't get it so much as to why people get... I give that Manchester City 100-point season more credit, personally.
No. Crazy. Arsenal not good enough already, and it's only day one, says Hazard. They needed to win this game. Mark, you lost 4-0 to QPR. Your club still has a sense of entitlement, says Zane. Mate, don't. Really don't. You know what you are? You're the guy who's just been battered in front of the world, and the victor is stood over you, and then you're still gobbing off. Do you want another beating, basically? Because that was a pre-season friendly, mate. We finished second last year. You finished eighth. We're in the Champions League. You're not even a bloody... I don't know what league you are in, but there isn't one for you. You're in bloody... You're doing your Christmas shopping at Harrods, mate, or Poundland, because you've got the week off. So there is no Arsenal in United's sentence. There is no. You're not a rival. I said this the other day. I have bets with Craig about whether United will finish above Liverpool. I don't even speak to Arsenal fans anymore. You need to go and speak to Watford. Oh, I bet you will finish above you. That's your level, because that's what you are. Like, it makes me laugh. I don't know why the world, Craig, this is a serious point. I don't know why the world keeps falling for this hyperbole bullshit reaction.
They're off.
Yeah.
They're off.
They're all going to queue up to go and do the fan cam, aren't they? Knobheads. Like, I don't know why people are interested in these knobhead fan cams of Arsenal anymore. Because they've been doing it for 6 years, and they've been getting worse and worse and worse. What is surprising about Arsenal losing to Brentford? Tell me. Nothing. There's nothing surprising about this. It's just funny because they're so self-entitled. But it's not that actually, to the rest of the world, this is not surprising. It's just a comedy act. It belongs on it belongs on Dave Channel. I said it at the start. Arsenal fans moaning about losing to Brentford belongs on a comedy channel because it's funny. It's not shocking because you're shit. And
I'm going to go a step further, mate. I'm going to say that it has caused a huge problem for the entire industry in that we're seen as toxic. We're all judged in the same boat when some of us have worked really hard to try and remove that toxicity. And I just think look, I know we have to be careful about what we say, but it's never been my cup of tea. I've never understood how... I know why people watch it. Like it's car crash TV, but it's not... It's not my cup of tea.
I don't think, and I don't know what people think at home, I think Arsenal are fucked because of it. I think you are screwed as a football club because of these fans who just want to scream and shout Arteta out. There can be no patience when on the opening day of the season you're screaming Arteta out, and that's what's going to happen. Now, whether they're right or wrong, some people might be carrying that on from last season, to be fair. But do you not realise the idiocy of, I didn't hear Arteta out yesterday. First game of the season you lose, oh, that's it. But yesterday you weren't saying it in the majority. But also, the most important thing is, forget Arteta. We saw it with Emery, who's just gone and won the bloody Europa League and pushed Chelsea in the Super League, in the Super Cup. Get rid of Emery. Get rid of Wenger, who was, he didn't get his top four. You'd bloody love that now. Let's get rid of Arteta. Next manager comes in. I guarantee there is no patience in this Arsenal hyperbole. There is none. And United fans are fighting against it because, look, Ollie, some people don't think Ollie's good enough, but at least you can say he's had 3 years. He might not be good enough, but he's had 3 years. Mourinho might not have been good enough. He nearly got 3 years. These managers at Arsenal, they've got no chance because one bad result against the team that you'd expect to beat them anyway. Great save by the keeper.
Great save. Absolute. See, Leno can take notes on what to do.
I'm impressed with this Brentford goalkeeper. He's bloody good. He's very good.
Yeah, he's definitely going to the FPL team.
I wish he'd been in my bloody team, actually. Somebody did mention him to me. But look,
take note of positioning. Look at that. That is top tier.
This is the thing with Arsenal, and I said it last year. I don't see a way back because all you've become is a club that moans your arse off. And when you're moaning your arse off after every result, how can you ever have the patience for a rebuild? There's so much negativity around that football club. I don't see it changing.
Yeah, and it is a shame because, amongst all the loud, angry, dissenting voices, there are some rational, down-to-earth fans whose opinions get drowned out by those banging the drum the loudest.
I still think Arsenal will settle down at some point, but they will have an advantage when they're not playing midweek football. But obviously at the start of the season, there's no advantage because everyone's playing one game a week.
Sincere question. Arsenal sack Arteta in November. What manager wants the job? Sincerely, what manager looks at that and goes, I can come in here. As you said, I'll get the time.
I actually think Conte would take the job, and I think Arsenal fans will already be thinking about that because that's the way football works.
Do you think Conte would take that
Well,
job?
I think he's a bloody idiot if he does it, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
They needed somebody to me like a Rafa Benitez, somebody who would come in, steady the ship, has some extensive contacts that can, really work in the loan market. Because that's why I wonder about the likes of Arteta. He hasn't built up those years of being able to call. Like, look at Steven Gerrard, goes up to Rangers, man, opens up the old black book, gets a load of loans from everywhere, and along with good signings, makes Rangers a better side. And I think they should have gone for a steadier hand. The gamble doesn't look like it's going to pay off.
It's a tough one, Arsenal. I mean, I try to be pragmatic, but it's very hard to be pragmatic. I can be pragmatic about Liverpool and Chelsea and Man City, but it's very hard to be pragmatic about Arsenal when so many of your fans are just so loud and embarrassing, and make a conversation, an intelligent conversation, very, very, very difficult.
Ivan Toney just got given man of the match. I have to say, I'm a little bit taken aback by that.
Well, I don't know how he got it because I don't think he's done anything on Fantasy Premier League.
Sergi Canos and that guy that went off was at the number 19.
I mean, he's put a shift in, hasn't he? He's done the old shift, but he's only got me 2 points. I don't know whether he'll get man of the match on there. There's no.
I'm secretly. There was one point where you were talking, and I was just looking at the celebration, and honestly, inside I was just smiling at just seeing the sheer joy on people's faces of celebrating a goal, and it being back to some form of normality. It's so nice to see. We talk about slow motion being horrible for some stuff, but I do love a goal celebration in the crowd in slow motion.
I love the guy on Twitter earlier. I wish I knew his bloody app, but I just when you're going down your timeline, I've captained Tierney today. I fancy him for a clean sheet and a couple of assists. But if you're looking at fancy Premier League points, I mean, fair play if you got any today. You've got points for Norgard and Canos scoring. Pinnock got an assist. Raya's made a load of saves. Bonus points are going to Raya, Pinnock and Canos. So if you've got any of those, fair play. And look, yeah, Craig's absolutely spot on. This is what football's all about. The ability to, get promoted, win your opening game in front of a packed stadium against your London rivals. And 5 minutes to be added on here. Look, it's my turn tomorrow. It's Craig's turn tomorrow. He'll be on Anfield Agenda for Liverpool Norwich. I'll be on United Stand for United Leeds. And maybe we'll be moaning, but I might well be moaning tomorrow. Leeds are a very good side, but I think.
But even if we are moaning, we'll moan knowing that it will be corrected and the wrong will be righted. I don't know if Arsenal could say the same.
This is the thing about Arsenal. It's never the man. They blame it on the manager, but it's the same problem every manager. At some point, you've got to look at the club and the squad. There's a problem within the club there. Why are Arsenal fans so delusional? My assy, do play with your old friend Darkness. Maybe take Ben White with you better than Varane, says Pushan. I'm an Irish United fan. I love watching Craig's channel and seeing how well he's going. Now he's alongside Goldie himself. Proud of him, says Harry. Arsenal need Mourinho. Anyone heard from Zane? Says Lee. He was on. Arsenal fans' problem is even if they had a world-class manager, one bad game and they don't back them, football is about hope and belief. They have none, says Swift. Mark, sadly our fan base will be very similar if it wasn't to go well tomorrow against Leeds. Ollie out would be trending, I'd guess. Yeah, Andy and Bruno, you make a good point. There are some United fans that would be doing that tomorrow. It is the sad side of football. It is the sad side. And I've fell into that trap a couple of times. But, I haven't been Ollie out for... It's like not having a drink. I haven't had a drink since... But I haven't been Ollie out since January... Whenever we bought Bruno. So it'd be January 2020, wasn't it, that we bought Bruno. So it was after the Burnley game and I was like, fuck this, I've had enough. I've had enough of Ollie. He's a bloody joke. And then we bought Bruno and I was like, well, I think this is the player that will change it. And...
Do you remember you remember the big debate when Rodgers was at Leicester and he was being linked to that Arsenal job? And a lot of Arsenal fans were thinking about it being an upgrade. I absolutely understood why Rodgers had no interest in going to Arsenal and staying at Leicester with the owners they have and the way the club was going. And I think that needs to be a wake-up call.
It's like I always say to the women, it's not the size of it's what you do with it. And in football, it's not the size of the club, it's what you do with it. And Arsenal's a big club. I will never, ever not have that said. But you're a big club in name. The way you run, there's 19 other clubs better than you. Please.
Saka appealing for a penalty there.
Too late anyway. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We've got 17,000 watching. We are going to be back tomorrow with Chelsea versus Crystal Palace as a watch along at 3 o'clock, and we'll be keeping you up to date with all of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. That's not a penalty.
No, not in that.
He kicks the leg of the other player. That's not a penalty. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe. We're fast on the road to 500,000, 500,000 subscribers. That's Football's the channel for everyone to get involved in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And Brentford clean sheet against the almighty Brighton, says Vicious Bin Man. Thanks for the super chats. Boy, we thought our defence was bad, says Jacob Hawkes, who's clearly, well, might be a United fan. I don't think Saka dived there. He's tried to kick it and he's kicked the player. It's one of those. You're going to go down, but it's never a penalty. I don't think.
He certainly didn't dive. There was he either kicked his own foot or the other player's foot, but he certainly didn't dive. No.
It's a tough one for Arsenal though, Craig. We mentioned it. Well, I mentioned it a couple of times. Chelsea next, then Man City. I don't care if Arsenal are playing well. I wouldn't expect them to beat Chelsea or Man City. So they've got a very hard run to the international break. And I tell you what, no points after 3 games is it's a long old international break. Effectively, your season might not start till mid-September.
Playing catch up.
Yeah.
Oh, per Riley's not looking great.
Yeah.
And rightly so. I mean, the teams he played in, the stuff he won, must be breaking his heart looking at what he's seen on the pitch there now, the level that he was at and the players that he was surrounded by his time at Arsenal. Sweet Caroline's belting around now, outside in my estate.
I mean, again, I don't want to delve into clubs' politics, but ultimately, maybe Arsenal fans need to do a little bit more around their ownership because there's bad decisions being made at that club. And there's the final whistle. Well done to Brentford. Didn't really actually know whether they would deliver it, Craig, but they have. Well done. They've put a smile on our face. Great start to the Premier League.
Well, he put a smile on Mike Dean's face there. He's even having a little chuckle.
Arsenal were top of the league for the last month without a ball being kicked. 90 minutes, only 2 teams have played and they're bottom of the league. That's football. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, it's a perfect start. Delighted for the Brentford fans. You can see what it means to them there in the crowd. Perfect introduction to the Premier League. You know, the old romantic in me's loving this, I won't lie.
It has. It's been. Look, you know what? I've just enjoyed having football back. Fans in the ground, and then we've had the romance of actual football. You know, newly promoted team against the first time Brentford have played Arsenal in a top league for 74 years, and they beat them. So you know, that is the drama. But look, we've spent so. This is what pisses me off about Arsenal. We've spent so long talking about Arsenal losing, and the reality is we talk about Arsenal so much because there's certain elements of their fan base are gobby loudmouths. The reality is it a shock? Not really. How much have we spoken about Brentford? Not enough. We've not analysed Brentford because we're still falling into this hyperbole nonsense about Arsenal. I'm fed up of talking about Arsenal. Let's talk about Brentford. Goalkeeper was fantastic. Defence was well organised. Effective. They didn't concede a goal. They never looked like conceding a goal. Arsenal had shots, but they never looked like conceding a goal.
Crowd sensational.
Yeah. And every game will be a cup final for Brentford because I don't look at Brentford playing any game and go, they'll win that. Villa, West Ham, Everton, I put them all favourites. But look, maybe we'll start to maybe we'll start, maybe after a couple of months, they'll pick up a few more points and we'll go, oh, Brentford are playing Burnley. I quite fancy Brentford in that. They're an unknown quantity. They're a new club, and well done to them. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think we're going to enjoy them in the Premier League this season. I think they're going to give us some open, entertaining games of football. And I've got to be honest, I'm genuinely delighted for them, and seeing the happy faces and the manager going around applauding as he walks around the stadium. It is a thing of beauty, and it lets us know football's back. He's even gone over for a selfie now with a little young lady there at the side who's waiting for him.
Well, to be honest, if I was him, I would do this, because you never know when your next win's coming along. So just enjoy it. I mean, it might be next week, mate, to be honest, but definitely do enjoy it. And that enthusiasm and work rate, again, it's a cliche, but organisation is so important in football. We saw it in the Euros. We've seen it in the Premier League. Well-organised teams who are in it together will always beat a team.
Oh, look at that.
Fancy
Look
dance.
at that.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That is football right there. That man's face. Beautiful.
Unless he's just been chopping an onion.
Yeah, he might have a tweezer in his pocket or something. You never know. But
someone might have trod on his foot. He might be clapping away, and some big guy's on his foot, and he just don't want to say anything. You're fucking paid. You're fucking paid. I'm not saying anything.
Either that or he's Captain Tierney, one or the other.
Yeah, yes, Captain. Anyway, look, thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're back at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Crystal Palace against Chelsea on this channel. Make sure you tune in for that. Anfield Agenda, Liverpool and Norwich tomorrow, and United Stand obviously will be live for that on there for that. But really enjoyed it. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thanks, Craig.